Hi, and welcome to Thursday with a Friend. My name is Lawrence, and today my special, special guest, I wish I could say it with a voice like his, Woody222. Thank you for joining me. How are you doing?
Good. How are you, man? What's up, bro?
Man, oh man, you just blew out my speakers with that voice of yours, man. I am doing
Sorry.
great. I, hey, don't be sorry, man. I wish I had a voice like that. I feel bad for all the people that listen to me having to hear this voice. I had someone the other day. He heard me at a toy store, and he didn't know he knew who I was from the shows. And he's like, I thought that was him. He's like, then I heard your voice, and you have such a distinct voice. And I'm like, oh, that's so bad. um, so how has your week been so far?
Busy at work. We're just about to finish a sub. In case you don't know, I build submarines, so we're about 11 days away from finishing one. So it's a
How many,
hectic time right now.
how many subs have you built altogether? Do you think?
Me, 27.
Damn, you know exactly. That's
Hmm.
not a guesstimate. That's an exact number. That is absolutely awesome. I've mentioned it before. One of my best friends growing up, he's a chemical engineer that teaches the
Hmm.
submariners what to do if there's
Yeah.
a nuclear reaction on their sub, which is die. I
Hmm.
mean, it's die, right? That's
Mm.
um, all right.
Hopefully
So
not.
yeah, well, luckily I knock on wood, but see the
Yeah,
guy
I'm
behind
knocking
me,
on.
he will flip out, and then there's no one here to let him out. So I'm alone today. So hopefully he doesn't bother me. All right. So where does the name Woody triple two, really Woody222 the figure, and I think we can figure out the figure addict.
Yeah.
Where did Woody222 come from?
Well, my first name is Haywood, so I've been called Woody my whole life. It's just I don't like the name Haywood because it's in my family, all the men are named Haywood. It's just like the Foremans over here. So every
Wait,
guy is a
wait,
Haywood with a different middle name.
wait, what? Hold on, wait. They're all named Haywood?
Yeah, because it's a distinct name, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
But there's
You
not a
threw me.
lot of guys in my family. Like me, I'm I have cousins, they have sons, but me, I have daughters. So my family lineage is after me, I pass. My family is gonna stop because I only had daughters.
Well, your family doesn't stop, but I understand the name.
Yeah, my name. Yeah,
Yeah.
my branch.
When you ask for stickers, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Because you had Haywood, and I'm like, who the fuck is
Yeah,
that Haywood?
yeah,
Like, I don't know any Haywoods. And
yeah. I've just
quickly
been Woody
here,
my whole life.
and quickly, Jay Astro fart noises for Woody. So here you go. Oh, and I guess I forgot the.
Oh,
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
And Woody, no super chats from you while you're live, please. Um,
yeah. I can't do it anyway. I was thinking about that earlier. I'm like, I'm on my phone, so I can't even send a fucking super chat. Oh,
it's
my
weird when
bad.
I see people that are on live somewhere and then they start super chatting. Like, why are you super chatting to the own stream that you're in? It's just strange. It's like people will be a guest and then they'll like send a super chat. I'm like, you could just say that. You're right there. I can see you. Uh, anyway, let's say hi to everyone really quick, and then we'll get into your life. So we have Mython the Python here. What's up, Woody, my brother from another mother? We have Same Time Toys. It's Jay Gonzo. Machine Man is here. We have Jay Astro, who we've already mentioned. Krusty Old Crow is in the house. Did we say Machine Man? We'll say him again. Legend
Just
Series,
gonna
your
leave
good
it out.
buddy, which I see you doing. See going to see him all the time, taking all kinds of pictures and stuff with him. I
Yeah,
need a friend like that
we live
close
close.
to me. How close do you guys live?
3 hours.
Eh, it's not
It's
close, but it
close.
is. It's
Yeah,
closer than
it's a
most of the
nice
people.
bomb ride. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. GI Bro, what's up, people? He's probably working out right now. He's got the biggest guns in the community. But this guy right here, Payne's Toy Sample, is trying to challenge him. That is for sure. Son of a Crayon Slayer is here. We have 3-star draw. And let's see, is there anyone else? We have Johnny Reno, that crazy little Mexican. I just like
Johnny.
Matthew Matson is here. Eric Thurman is in the house. And is there anyone else right now? There's a few that will be straggling in a little bit later. Bobby Wold is here. Bobby, the giveaway is next Monday. That's when you need to show up to win, all right? And make sure you go to that video and put your name in, or else you guys aren't going to get entered. Aaron the Toy Enhancer probably just gave Bobby a present, a gift. We have Shark Eyes Toy Views, who is on his other account, probably doesn't realize it right now, and Chris Hovind. And there'll be some more people joining soon, I'm sure. Right now, Tony is live with Gun Bunny.
Nice.
Gun Bunny
Yeah,
and KJ. Yeah, for the Terradrome, and I know those three, especially Gun Bunny and Tony, are always in. So, all right, but you can watch it on the replay. Okay, so let's just start. Do you mind me asking how old you are or what age range you are?
I am 45. I just turned 45 July 31st.
Well, congratulations. I guess happy birthday, not congratulations.
Thank you.
I always say, like, people always celebrate their birthday. I'm like, you know who should be celebrating birthdays? Moms. They're the ones that had to push out a watermelon, all right?
Mm-hmm,
Watch, okay? They're the ones that had to push out a damn watermelon.
Yeah.
And Ed is in the house. I don't know. I don't think I missed Ed, but all right. So where did you grow up at?
I was born in Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
And you still live in that area, correct?
Yeah, I still live in Rhode Island, not Pawtucket anymore. That was the hood.
Now, have you ever moved away, like a substantial amount away?
Nope.
You're still living in Rhode Island, correct?
Yeah. Kind of like lost in over here now.
Hey, you know what?
At this point in my life.
I can't see myself ever moving away from Michigan, to be 100% honest. I mean, it sounds great now, but it's like everything is here. Now, maybe if my kids moved away, then it'd be like, all right, well, I don't have a reason to stay here if there's something else. Like if YouTube goes like popping off and I start making all this money and I can just move.
Yeah.
I know, contrary to believe, I do not make that much money from YouTube. All right. So, do you mind me asking? Did you have any siblings, and how, like, you grew up with your mom and dad, or?
I had an older brother. I never met him though because he passed away from that crib death back in the day.
Oh wow.
I had he would have been 2 years older than me, and then I have a twin sister. I'm a fraternal twin.
Oh, a twin sister. Does she have a deep voice? I hope she doesn't have a deep voice like you. I hope,
no.
I hope you took all the voice.
Yeah, she wouldn't be doing too good in life if she had this voice.
all I can imagine is Vera DeMilo from
yeah.
I got
burn. Feel the burn. Yeah.
In Living Color would never make it even a season today. At least not on like a network. Oh my god, dude. Dude, he was so damn funny. Almost everything that he did.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, dude, that show was really good. All right, so you have just a twin sister then. Now, what about your parents? Did you grow up with both your parents?
No, just my mother. I knew who my father was, but he wasn't around too much, so he'd come around on like Christmas and shit, like that kind of dad.
Okay. So with your sister, were you? I mean, obviously you guys are twins, but were you guys close? Like, did she also play with toys? So did you have like a built-in friend, or did she have her own?
Yeah,
toys?
She had her own stuff. We didn't have much growing up because my mother was doing other things besides raising children and stuff like that, running streets and and shit like that. So we kind of just had each other, and she was the older twin, but I always took care of her. So
Well,
I
they
don't
can
really
only be
talk
so
about
much
shit like that, but I will get open.
well, they can only be so much older than you, right?
Yeah, she's 9 minutes.
Okay, so say she's the older sister, all right? That's like saying, yeah, he's my best friend. I mean, he's older, but I was always the one that was smarter. It's like,
Mhm.
how much older? I don't know, like 2 days. Like, that's not really older, right? Like, he didn't mature that much more in those 2 days.
Yeah.
Say hi to Astrodamus. All right, so I'm 45. I mean, you're not much younger than me. Do you remember like the first toys you played with? Not like the first ones you really got into, but like I remember like the Adventure People and the Lone Ranger, obviously Hot Wheels, Matchbox. Do you remember like the first toys you played with and stuff?
Yeah, I would say Little People, probably. The houses. Yeah,
Okay.
the little wobbles or whatever.
I don't
What was
think
that?
anyone's mentioned Little People yet, which is
I
odd because
remember
people,
that, but I don't.
yeah, I know someone's going to get in the comments and go, oh, we mention Little People all the time. We talk about you.
I used to use the Bond. I still had the Bond, and I would use it for GI Joes.
Oh my God, I remember the barn. Yeah, I didn't have the barn. The barn seemed to be one of those things at everyone's house, whether grandmother's house, your aunt's house. They always had the barn, and you never have the animals you want. You guys say hi to 80s Toy Boy really quick, and if I can find everything really quick.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Aaron the Twin Hanser with a 1999 super chat. He must be making that Texas money right now. But hey, you know what? He's asking for it. This is your soundbite. But you're doing it. I love the fact that you said that your wife hates it, so you asked for it. That's the best part. You're like, my wife hates it. She's sitting next to me. Could you do that?
Yeah.
And say hi to Woodman29 really quick. So
Brother
Little People.
Wood.
So I think you're the first person to bring up the Little People, other than when people are trying to reference me being one of the Little People.
Well, I didn't really get into GI Joes till later because me and my sister, we had to have like kind of like unisex toys because we weren't having a lot of money by any means, so we had to get something we both kind of could play with, you know.
So that's how your built-in play friend worked. Like you guys just had one wasn't getting Barbie, one wasn't getting He-Man stuff. It was like how many unisex toys are there other than like
I remember we had those. There was like a toy you would pull it and it would spin with the wings. There was a girls and a boy version. We had that growing up, I remember.
Okay.
It's not a lot of toys.
I know you're the first one to bring up that. Myth on the Python, Aaron making that Dallas Cowboy money. I know he ain't winning Super Bowls if he's making that, that's for sure. Matthew Madsen says, I had the Little People house and Steamboat. I do remember those two.
Nice.
But I swear the barn, like, so you said the barn, I'm like it was at my grandmother's house. It'd always be at like an aunt and uncle's house. Like that was like the one thing they'd always like pull out for you to like, hey, we have this. And they'd always have that. You'd always have the that phone, the rotary phone. Playmates, rotary phone, like everyone had it. So there's like certain things that were always in everyone's house. That they had. But yeah, that's so as you started to get older, you know, you and your sister, obviously you said you didn't have a lot of money. Do you remember like the first toys you kind of fell in love with?
Yeah, I'd say Transformers.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that answer.
Because I got an Optimus Prime for Christmas one year and that was like huge.
Oh,
that was a big gift. I want to say it was 1985, maybe.
That sounds about right. But you know, it's hard to say because
maybe
you know those
86.
toys.
Yeah, they had them out.
Yeah,
They're out for
toys
years.
stayed
Yeah.
around. I mean, a lot of people think,
Mhm.
oh, it's a peg warmer. You know, toys
No.
are meant to be there so kids can
Mhm.
get them, right?
Yeah.
Cobweb Collector Yo got my APWT stickers today. Be taking some pics soon. Thank you very much, Cobweb. Look at that. that right there saves on getting a mug. What else you have on there?
Bunch of weed stickers. And
Oh.
you.
See, that is irony there. Okay, that whole Alanis Morissette song, like that,
Mhm.
that song there, that's bad luck. That's not irony. That right there is irony. All right, you get one straight edge sticker and you stick it on with a bunch of weed.
That's what I did. I had your sticker on there first, and then I put all the rest of the weed stickers around it.
I love it. There would have been a time in my life that I would have hated someone doing that. A long time ago, we'll just say that. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a different man now. And Todd C has jumped in here. Hey, all, dropping a like for Punk and fart for Woody. You know what? Just because you said it, why not?
Oh, the Weddy.
I promise you, I will. When I finally sit down and I'm not trying to create some other type of content.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Probably going to take me like 5 fucking minutes to do. All right, so Transformers was the first things that you remember. Now, do you remember what your sister got? Like that would have been the first girl toy?
My Little Pony.
Oh my God, that's so funny you bring that up. I was just talking to Allison today, and she was talking because Allison does coloring shorts and coloring videos. And she was saying she doesn't do the My Little Ponies because it says that it's for kids. And she's like, these aren't for kids. So every time she has My Little Pony, we're literally talking about it today on the way home from work when we were talking about the stream I'm going to be doing. So it's funny that you bring that up. So she got
all the little girls when I was a kid had My Little Pony, Starlight, Starbright, or whatever the hell that was. She-Ra. They had
Strawberry Shortcake.
Strawberry Shortcake, yeah.
Which
I used
really
to play
did
that
smell
with my
like.
sister.
Now, did you ever play
the blueberry guy?
So you played the girl toys with your sister.
Yeah. At that age, yeah.
Oh, believe me, I'm not. I think at that age you're more self-conscious to do it, just because you think that you're not supposed to. But I feel like girls had an easier time playing G.I. Joe or Transformers or He-Man than a guy acting like he was,
Yeah. I could be the blueberry baker, a good blueberry baker though when I was a kid.
So she played with you also? That's cool. So you said you got into Transformers, or that was just like the first love of yours?
That was the first kind of thing I got. Then I started getting G.I. Joes after that, and then once I got them, it was a wrap for everything else.
So G.I. Joe has pretty much been your favorite toy since. Okay, because I feel the same way. I mean, I remember Star Wars, and I had a lot of Star Wars, but it was like that first G.I. Joe. Like the first time I got it in hand, it was like that was the only.
Even there for the early stuff, like 82, 83, 84. I was still under 5 years old, so I wasn't playing with G.I. Joe, obviously. I didn't get into like 85, 86, 87. Those were my key years in the line.
Mython says, I had My Little Pony toys when I was 5 or 6 years old. My G.I. Joes rode them into battle. No cap.
I can neither confirm nor deny I've done that.
And Woody said, or Jay Astor says, Woody was army building My Little Ponies.
Harvest Moon.
What's funny now is I'm picturing like My Little Ponies and just like Woody having this army of My Little Ponies and his sister being like, where's all my Little Ponies? Eric Thurman asked, what was your first G.I. Joe? Do you remember?
The first one I remember is I want to say Major Blood because I got them from school.
Wow. So that seems so old. Like,
but it was like the mail away. You know how they for years after they would do the older. It was a mail away, because I got it in a plastic baggie.
Wow. Yeah, because I had the straight arm, break a thumb the day you get it. Dr. Gone asks, just tuned in. Is that a Stay Puffed shirt?
Yes, it is.
I'm assuming that has. Wait, is that
Ghostbuster?
Okay, so it's Ghostbusters. Has nothing to do with weed.
No.
Why is he Stay Puft? I'm like, maybe that. I mean, and King Ape. What am I action figure collecting compadres? I cannot believe I actually said that without.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, he's laughing about weed, but again, like, you can see how I could have thought like that would have been something weed related, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially for a straight edge guy.
It had the word puffed.
And I only know that because since now that marijuana is legal, oh my God, how can there be that many marijuana stores? And they work all the time. Because I have one right by my house. It's Christmas and they're open. Like, good Lord, fucking buy some. All right. On the 23rd, give them Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off. Thanksgiving, it's packed. Easter, I'm like, for the love of God, like, give them a day off. Like, buy your weed. Again, I don't smoke, so I don't know. I would assume you can buy it and then not use it for a day or two and have that for those days.
Well, you buy enough for a day or two. Some people buy it day to day, though. That's because they're, I go to dispensaries and you see people like hustling in there. It's crazy.
I mean, again, I'm not questioning. I'm just where I usually go for holidays. I drive right by it every fucking holiday. Christmas, it was packed, and I'm like,
yeah.
But then you kind of think like, well, since I don't do it, I don't know. But I'm thinking you do have to spend the whole fucking day with your family, so maybe it is something you do need. Maybe that is the reason why it's open. All right. All right. So you started getting Transformers. You got into your G.I. Joe. Now, what age were you that you started playing with G.I. Joe?
7, probably.
Okay. So, I mean, that's...
Six and a half, something like that.
All right. But you really didn't have a chance to get stuff because you said you really didn't have very much when you were...
Yeah.
Now, what was... Do you mind me asking, like, how your life was growing up, like, with your sister? You kind of quickly touched on it, that your mom wasn't... Even though you were living with your mom, you didn't...
Yeah.
She wasn't really around. So were there, like...
Go ahead. Sorry.
Did you have like family members that were helping, or was it just?
Yeah. What happened was, my aunt was she's like a gambler, so she always was gambling. She won enough money one time at the casino to buy a house in like 1986, I want to say. So we moved to my aunt's house, and it was in an even worse neighborhood. But that's why she got the house for so cheap. But we lived upstairs on a second floor, but the whole apartment was like this. So only the middle had like headroom. So my aunt was always there to kind of watch. She would always be downstairs. She didn't really come up or anything. But if we had an emergency or something, my aunt and my cousin was always downstairs.
But so like, do you mind me? You said your mom wasn't around. Do you mind me asking what? I mean, if you don't want to, I mean, we did discuss.
No, she did drugs. She was a drug addict, and she was doing things that was like prime time for crack back then, the mid '80s, and my neighborhood just kind of exploded with it, like I'm sure a lot of people's did.
Now, is that something that ever got brought home, or did you not really realize it as a kid?
No, I knew it. I had to get a lot of street smarts as a young person. I had to grow up quick, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, I say I grew up quick when my mom passed away, but I think completely different like different circumstances and different environments, for sure. How was your sister throughout all of this? You said you took care of her, but
Yeah, we kind of just survived. We ate. There was always, food. We was on welfare and shit. So there was always bread, peanut butter, tuna fish, shit like that. There was always something around, and we would eat. And my mom would go out for, sometimes she wouldn't come home for 2 days because she knew if worse came to worse, my aunt was downstairs. So.
Oh wow! But your sister was also well aware. She wasn't like oblivious to it.
No, she's the same age as me, so we're two different people. We're two different people, definitely. Like my nickname for my sister is Peggy Bundy because she wants to be that person that don't work and wants to sit around and smoke cigarettes all day and lay on the couch. Even as a young person, as a young kid, I remember her being like that.
Bonbons,
bossing everybody around. Yeah.
My mom used to love bonbons. That's why it resonates so much when she was eating bonbons all the time. Because I think Married with Children came out, after my mom passed away. So it was like when I would see that and see her with bonbons and you see the little bucket of bonbons, that's what I would always think of. So say hi to No, I'm the Question. I love that name. So how was school when you went to school and everything?
School was good. Back then they had the programs and shit where they made sure you ate and all that kind of shit. So that was always good. And I went to, I don't know if you know this, but I've said it a million times, my school was right next door to Hasbro in Pawtucket.
I've heard you mention that.
Like literally you look out the window and you see the Hasbro manufacturing plant.
So the plant or their headquarters 1027?
1027 wasn't a thing back then, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, that was later. This building had like not a million, but a lot of doors and all the tractor trailers would back up to it.
Okay.
So they were making shit there. All the figures that was at a stamped Pawtucket, Rhode Island on the inner thigh, they were made there.
All right. Dr. Gunn says Woody222 making a solid case for funding school lunches. No, you're absolutely correct, man. NorCal Voodoo, I would be hitting them up for tours. Yeah, but you don't really know what it is at that age. Like you just know that's Hasbro. You probably see you don't really understand what Hasbro is at that age. I would assume. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, they had the old school logo, the blue house with the little kid leaning on it on all the trailers. That was all over the building and everything.
Which is on the belt buckle of a lot of the G.I. Joe figures, if you didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to look.
So.
Oh, you taught me something nice.
Where's it at?
Whoever got a belt on, I would assume, right?
Well, some had the H. Well, Duke doesn't have it. So the original ones, if you look at them, I don't know if you have any of the early lines. It has the H. Some of them have the little house on it. I had no idea.
Oh, wow.
This is something you learn at 2:00 in the morning when you've gone down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I was just telling someone the other day, it was like 1:30 in the morning and I'm going down that rabbit hole when I found out that the little cart to pull the tanker on the USS Flag, that plugged directly into where the screw hole was for the Sky Striker. So you could tow the Sky Striker.
No.
And I had no idea. So it's like 1:30 in the morning. I should be in bed because I'm working the next day.
Yeah.
But now I'm going downstairs, moving stuff off the flag, pulling that thing off, and then I'm lining it up, and it lines up perfect. And I'm like, really? 30 fucking years. No one, so much playability that I lost because of I didn't know. Not that you were going to drag it around too often, but it was. And I'm sitting downstairs at. Here I'm in my 40s,
Hey, we all do it, man. That's why we're here.
And I think I actually, if I remember correctly, I think I when I did the Sky Striker HasLab review, I think I lined it up to see if it did that too. Because if you look at the Sky Striker HasLab, it is the exact same mold, just made smaller. Like they got rid of the seat, they shrunk it, and same with the fueling, the fueling cart.
Oh, there's only one seat in that HasLab Sky Striker?
No, the fueling cart.
Oh,
So there's a fueling car, and then the cart that comes with it on the aircraft carrier. Well, the HasLab one, they gave you one. It's really cheap plastic. It literally looks like they just printed it up and like, hey, you snap these things together. But if you look at it, it has all the exact same design, but it was like they just cut out like an inch and a half down the middle and shrunk it together. So you can put it on there. It's like, thanks guys, but pretty lame.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to say hi to Floyd Williams, who's jumping in here. It's always, I know I get, someone's going to tell me, no, he's here. I don't think I've seen you, Floyd. So thank you for jumping in. If you are, Matthew will send me a message going, no, he's been here before. All right. So you're going through elementary school, you get into middle school. Was there a time where you like really got into toys? And then was there a time when you started to get out of them?
Yeah, I was really into toys the whole time because when I was 10, well, like 9.5, my father passed. He died from a drug overdose, and my mother started getting money from the SSI or whatever they call that shit. So then we really started getting toys because she was, cleaning herself up by that point, and she moved us. We moved to a better neighborhood, and then she saved up a little bit, got a job. She kind of cleaned herself up.
All right.
That was about 3 years. And then we moved to East Providence. So when I was 13, I moved to East Providence. That's where I live now.
So you said your dad passed away when you were 10. Now, you said you really didn't know him all that well, like you barely saw him. No. So I mean, do you mind me asking how you handled that?
Like a 10-year-old boy that was trying to be a man, honestly. I didn't even really think about it till a lot later in life. I kind of just pushed it down and became one of those things down in your gut.
Like I said, I was there. So like I said, different circumstances, but I was 13, and it's weird because people go from one. I watched a lot of friends after my mom passed away that lost theirs, and they went the exact opposite. Like I was like, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to do drugs. That's why I'm straight edge. I mean, well, that's what started it. You promise your mom that you're never going to do it. So I'm like, I'm not going to do this. And, my dad, he had more than enough things to worry about with a 6-year-old daughter. And I was an adult from that age. And I watched some of my other friends when they were older lose like a parent, and they went the exact opposite. Got really into alcohol and drugs or whatever. It's also a kid thing, right? I mean, guys 14, 15, 16, not everyone's going to be like me when they never touch anything. Other people are going to be the exact opposite. So you said your mom started obviously getting Social Security. I know about that. Then she moved you out, but you said she started to get herself cleaned up? Yeah.
She, like I said, she was doing drugs, running streets and stuff like that. There's a whole... I kind of skipped a little part. My dad, he was a local big shot kind of guy. He owned a nightclub, I guess, in Rhode Island. So he was getting girls on girls on girls. He was that kind of guy. And my mom was one of them girls, I guess. And that kind of sprung from there. So that's why he was never really in my life. He would come around, but so he kind of introduced her to the drug scene. And he was 44 and my mother was 19 when they met.
Holy shit.
That'll put some perspective on the situation. I always forget to mention that.
It's not always you forget, just sometimes you I guess it is forget, but it's
Mhm.
not like you're ignoring it for any reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so quickly, Mrs. Mython the Python. Hey, Woody, and all you other people. Now, Matthew, you don't have to send it over. I know Mrs. Mython has never been in the chat before, so you don't even need to. And I also know this guy, Zach Kaneen.
Zakanin.
Rumbles into the
Zakanin.
Zakanin. Okay.
Yeah.
I know these two have never been in, so Matthew, you don't have to do the research on it. Although I think you just hit a button and it tells them. I don't moderate any channels, and I clearly don't moderate my own because I'm StreamYard looks way different. So sometimes Matthew will hit me up and be like, "Dude, this guy's commented a bunch." I'm like, oh,
Yep.
but thank you guys for joining. It's always great to have new people, and hell, maybe they'll stick around, or hell, maybe they won't.
Yeah.
If you are new and you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and there is a link to all of Woody's channel
Thank you.
in the description, because he has no social media other than YouTube. So if you think you're going to get a hold of him, good luck. Even if he emails you and you respond, he may not get back with you.
I
And then
fixed that problem.
The real Zim, yo guys. And then we got Four Feathers is in the house. So there's 3 new people that I know I haven't seen. So I better have 3 new subs for this. And Woody better have a whole bunch of subs, all right? Because if you want to see someone army build stuff, this is where you need to go.
That's not even my thing, really. I was just doing that to do it. I like it, the look of it, you know.
No, it's really cool. I mean, I like what people are doing when it's something different than what I'm doing. And I do something, but I like that people are doing other things, like something different on YouTube, because we don't want everyone to be the exact same, right? I mean, that's that gets boring. And I mean, I've heard people like I'm not like you. I'm like, thank God, because we don't need a bunch of assholes like me, right?
Okay.
And Evo Dookie, I want to know why a guy living in Rhode Island has a Yankees hat.
All right, here we go. The father I speak of would come around every now and then and bring my sister and me to a Yankees game when we were children. So that was kind of my team. That's all I kind of knew. And I just kind of kept that tradition alive, even though he probably didn't deserve it. But it was the only baseball team I knew, and I just rolled with it ever since I was a kid.
But again, it's even though it may be like little memories, I mean, they might be good memories that you have. Like you said, you do hold on to things. I mean, I've told people before, like, I'm never getting rid of that aircraft carrier because it reminds me of my mom. I mean, all the GI Joe, but the aircraft carrier is like the biggest thing. That's what I've told my kids. I'm like, when I die, you can do whatever you want with it, just don't get ripped off. Don't sell it for $100. You know.
Well, I remember that day because he showed up in a limo in the hood with a big Cadillac limo back in the day, and that was a good memory for me and my sister. Even though we were going with my dad, but it was just the experience of the whole thing, you know.
Jeff says, just glad it's not the fucking Red Sox.
Facts.
And then Bobby Wall asked, Woody, did you ever get a 3D printer? You were talking about doing a hallway scene with some of the last figures you got. Got me and Loki both know where you can find a lot of Star Wars files. That was a long run-on sentence.
No, I never got a 3. I'm not gonna do that, I don't think, Bobby. One day, if I come across them or something, I'll grab them. The walls for like the hallways for Star Wars and shit for the diodes.
Oh, okay.
For like shelves. That's what he's talking about because we've talked about that before.
And Skunkworks, nice of you to jump in. I know Skunkworks has been here before. All right, Matthew, you don't need to send me nothing. The 3D printing is, I have a 3D printer, but I print like walls. Of course, I have nothing around me that I printed. Barrels. I actually do have I printed a desk, but when you get really deep into it, like the guy that prints me all the stuff, he started buying this printer and that printer, and then next thing you know, he has like 5 different printers, and he's using one to make these pieces, and he's working on this big dreadnought machine right now.
Mm-hmm.
It looks awesome, but he can do all the small little details. He's made like grenades for me and smoke grenades, all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get into that, then you start doing that little detail. I'd rather just be like, hey, can I
buy that off you?
It's a lot easier than me trying to figure it out and it failing. But like,
I don't even like the internet. Why would I like a 3D printer?
You're so bad. Like when you told me about like not really.
No, that's a dead honest truth story. 2008, I got the first internet on my phone. I'm not bullshitting. I don't like the internet.
You know how much porn I had watched on the internet by 2008? Aaron the Toy Enhancer says 60 in the chat. Give a like, guys. Nice. Please do. Legend Series saying, I love seeing all these great people in one place. Hello, Mrs. Python, what's up? Zakinin and Jessica. Zakinin. I will never get it. I will look at that every time. J Solo Arts is still the one that gets me because it's J Solo Arts, but when you look at it, I'm trying to like pronounce it like J's, and then you're like, no, fuck J's. It's so easy that I'm so stupid that I fucking have a hard time doing it. That's the fun of doing a show by yourself. I have 2 moderators, but they're not in the back or anything. And people, and I'll read some of the comments, and like this guy is like, when you're on the spot and you're trying to read something, it just will throw you off because you're just like, all right. I mean, when Tony does it, Legend, he's so mellow and he's just kind of sitting back.
Mm-hmm.
I think him and I talked about it. I'm like, you're just like really mellow when you do everything. I'm like hyped up about everything. I feel like people will need me to entertain them. And here's fucking Tony doing Macho Man voices and Skeletor voices, and I'm like, good Lord, dude.
Nah, man, just be you, bro.
I can barely do my voice. D Griff, to me, with limited means, troop building is getting like 3 to 4 dues to seeing collections like Woody's allows me to live vicariously through him. Thanks for sharing. Dude, I'm with you 100%, man. It is. And again, like, it's great that people are doing different content, like Aaron the Toy Enhancer doing different content, Legend Series, different type of content. Billy Renfro, what's up, guys? I had to check out with Woody being here tonight.
Master Huntsman.
The husband of.
He does toy hunts. I watch him.
Oh. I mean, you can still tune in to see me. I mean, it's cool, man.
Yeah, I do.
I know you do. No, I'm glad because the whole point of having this on is to have people, tune in and get to know you. Mm-hmm. The past few weeks, I'm realizing people are tuning in to see that person. I'm like, oh, hey, you're on too. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know. My name is on the marquee. But hey, no worries. No big deal.
Nice.
Hurt my feelings. I'm okay.
Yeah.
All right. I hit 5,000 subs. I'm good. All right. So as you start to get a little bit older, did you ever get out of collecting toys? For me, it seems like 8th grade is when it's like no one is talking about playing with toys 7th and 8th grade, even though we all are. Right? We all are. We're just since we think no one else is. But around 9th grade is when it's like toys got pushed away. Yeah. And you usually find something else. So did you go?
I'd say 8th grade. My last hurrah was like Ninja Turtles. Because I got out of Joe's because they started getting weird in like the early 90s. They were getting too colorful and stuff.
Wait, Joe's got weird, so you got into Turtles.
Yeah. They were cool.
Mython says, yeah, who is this punk guy, Roman's pet human? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And I take no offense to that at all.
Does he got his own like Instagram and shit? Like I see people give dogs.
I thought about it. So now you're getting sick. I've thought about doing it. People have told me.
Yeah.
And I follow some of these dogs. My biggest thing, if I did something like that, is eventually when it does happen that he passes, I don't think I could handle it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it sounds silly, but it's like, and again, people will say, well, it's a memory, but I'm like, I know, but
and
like,
then you'd have to handle it online and shit. So yeah, I know what you're saying.
I have told people when I
because
die,
other people would be missing him too as well. So you'd have to kind of
exactly. And I've told people, I'm like, when I die, I'm sending someone my Facebook password, and I just want every like once or twice a year someone to pop up and be like, hey guys, how's it going? Just ask me. Like just out of nowhere, right? Where everyone's gonna be like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like I thought he's dead. Like, oh, I'm still dead, don't worry. If you haven't figured out, I have a fucking sixth sense of. All right.
Oh yeah, me too, bro. Don't worry.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk.
Nice.
Here comes the money.
King Ape with the 1999 super chat. Hey, Woody222 and Punk. I got to get the collection plate going for you guys. We are kindred spirits when it comes to our love for the G.I. Joe brand. Have you guys ever read Skybound Energon Universe? It's amazing. Much respect. So I do not read comics anymore. People have asked why. They say they're great. I hear that. I know what would happen if I start buying G.I. Joe comics. I will walk in there and go, hey, look, there's Transformers. Hey, what's Wolverine doing right now? Holy shit, look, there's Deadpool. Oh, my God, look at those fucking...
Yeah.
It would be bad. But for you, are you reading the comic books?
Yeah. I do get different, though. I buy them all first, and then I'll go back and read, like, the 5 in a row. Like, I've read Duke and Cobra Commander. I haven't touched... I own all the copies up to now of Destro and Scarlet, but I haven't read anything yet. But I don't care if people spoil it. I'm still going to read it.
Okay. Yeah, like, I hear they're awesome. And I've been told by people that aren't G.I. Joe fans that are like, it is an awesome... I'm like, I understand that. But the moment I buy one, there's already a bunch of G.I. Joe stuff, right? But then I start looking at, oh, shit, I love fucking Batman. Oh, my God, what's Robin? Like, I know exactly where it's going. It's not a good place for me financially.
Right? Yeah, see, I was never a comic guy ever.
Yeah, because then I got to start a comic YouTube channel just so I can support that habit. And, I already don't have enough time as it is.
Yeah.
And quickly, once again.
Here comes the money.
Oh,
here we go. Nice. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Aaron the Toy Enhancer with another 1999 super chat. Clearly, he has a lot of Dallas Cowboy money coming in. Let's fill this collection plate. What am I missing with the collection plate? Is that something I don't know about? Or is that what's up here?
Maybe like a church? Because
I think they're saying what's at
they say you're going to church or something?
I think they're talking about what's at the top of the screen where it tells you the super chats. I think you can fill 3 or 4.
Okay.
It tells you. So I think I think that's what they're talking about. I've never had it filled, so. And Ted Darklaw from Hella Dope Toys, where you can go there and get all your favorite toys that they have, and order from there and have fun. And you guys know the code, right? If you don't know the code, just use the initials that I'm here. We're here for Woody right now.
Oh, God.
And Ted is the one that does give us Mossman commercials. Let's get back to your life again. Thank you guys for the super chats. It is appreciated tremendously. It'll go right to that HasLab and Monster Force.
Yeah, did you see the video? Oh my God, they look amazing.
Yeah, I watched most of Robo's.
Yeah.
Are you getting any?
Yeah, I got them all coming. Except I didn't buy any of the humans though. I just bought all
the army builders.
No, yeah, but I'm only by one. That's one of each. That's one of each.
All right. So we get into high school. You kind of put
Mhm.
the toys away. Were you still
Yep.
like collecting toys at all or anything, or just
I
like, oh,
have one toy left, my original Mean Dog,
mean dog? What the hell's that?
the brown vehicle that came apart with what's his name? The driver with the machete in his back. I can't think right now because I'm just
That must have
forgetting.
been after my time.
It came out in '88.
I can't think of what that is then.
It snaps open like this. It has like the grill on the front, and it becomes two vehicles with the cannon on the back.
I think I know it. Is it green? It's not green, is it?
No, it's brown.
I don't know. I'm a bad G.I. Joe guy. What can I say?
I think the driver's name is Wild Card. I can't remember right now. Something like that. I'm having a brain fart.
Wait, Machine Man is asking Mask?
No, I never really played with Mask because that they were.
Mean Dog is G.I. Joe, right?
Yeah, the Mean Dog?
Yeah. Why the fuck?
Mhm.
Man,
Hold on.
I have no idea.
Hold on.
And Wraith Mace is here. Sup, folks? And I guess since Woody walked away, oops, this is a perfect time to do it quickly. But
Welcome to the creamery.
and Wraith Mace has gifted one Punk membership
To me.
a Dark Claw. Yeah, I know. All right. I actually have I have the base of that.
Yeah, this is my only original toy I have from when I was a child. This is the one, and the driver.
Yeah, I have the base. I had no idea what the name of it was.
Yeah, the Mean Dog.
Wow, I'm missing a lot.
It has like dog stickers, like stickers on it of a dog or something.
All right. So when you go into high school,
Mm-hmm.
what did you do? Did you get into comics? I know a lot of people got into comics because they feel like the kind of reading they can hide it. You get into sports.
I tried sports.
Got into weed.
I was okay. I played basketball. I was already into weed before junior high.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was just chilling in my neighborhood. Like I said, I didn't move out, and I had to kind of grow up quick, and I was out on them streets too. Me and my sister.
Wow. Yeah, we grew up way different.
Mm-hmm.
Way different.
Yeah, that would never happen nowadays.
Yeah, well, you know.
I mean, it would, but not as much as it did. But it was like my whole neighborhood was like that. Everybody's parents was drug addicts. I mean, like I said, the crack epidemic was just it was in my neighborhood where I lived. That's where it was. Everybody that did it was coming to my neighborhood to get it. I was right in like the central hub of that kind of activity, being up to the age of 13.
Yeah, I think again, like I grew up outside of Detroit. Like I grew up 8 miles out of Detroit, and that's just the border. Detroit's obviously huge, so but 8 miles is huge. 8 miles is. There's one city in Detroit. It's right next to Detroit, and you go from it's 300 feet. You go from the ghetto to $1 million homes, and you're like, it's almost like it is the weirdest thing. Like people don't believe it until they come here and they're like, "Holy shit, what the hell happened?" I'm like, "Exactly. You just went from the ghetto into here." But yeah, Matthew says Punk grew up on 8 miles. I grew up 8 miles away from. I grew up on 16 Mile. That's how you know I was exactly 8 miles away.
Nice.
We do mile roads. We do 8 Mile, 9, 10. I grew up on 16 Mile, and now I'm at Hall Road. Well, almost at Hall Road, which is basically it's 20 Mile. Severus Snape. Shout out to two legends, longtime listener, first time caller. Well, you know what? Thank you very much. I love seeing that. Like, there's a lot of people, and you'll find this out as you start. You'll get into live streams. I know you will. Like,
no, I won't.
I don't know, man.
Nope. I told Shane I'll be a guest, but I just it's not my thing. Like
Really?
Austin Powers, it's not my bag, baby. No, no. Just like the internet, it's not my bag. If I say I'm not gonna do something, I just don't do it. I'm that guy.
Well, you are allowed to change your mind. I mean, you are allowed to make change.
Yeah. It's I see the work that has to go into it, and I'm not willing to put that in. I'd rather put that energy into something else, No, not hating on anybody that does or anything. It's just
Jay
no.
Astro, Punk listens to "Lose Yourself" by Eminem and thinks, "Man, this song is totally about me." Honestly, God, the only reason why I know anything about Eminem is because he's from
Michigan, right? Yeah.
and he's fairly close. His daughter went to school. His daughter went to the school that I graduated from, and my daughter was also in the school, but they were like a year.
Oh.
They were. The house that he had is in the same neighborhood that a girl that I dated when the subdivision was being built, as a gated community and everything. And when the house was being built, I wasn't there, but a few friends of mine went to her house, and she was showing up, like they were doing a walkthrough, and they went in, and the one guy goes, "This is a pretty nice sized room," and she goes, "This is my closet." I grew up in a 1,200 square condo. I live in a 100 square foot townhouse now, so I don't. I never made it. I never made it there. So I mean, he lived like. I mean, I would pass by that, and again, I only know him because of he's from Michigan, and like I say, when 8 Mile came out, I was in. It was after 8 Mile had come out. I was in Dallas for training, and there was a guy from Jersey and the guy from Seattle. We're sitting there eating lunch. And the guy from Jersey goes, "What is 8 Mile?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "What is 8 Mile?" And I'm like, and he was he was older than me, maybe 10 years older than me. And he goes, "The movie 8 Mile." And I was like, "Oh," I go, 8 Mile is the road that divides Detroit and the suburbs.
Oh, okay.
It never dawned on me that people don't understand what 8 Mile is for the movie, right? Like they just hear the name 8 Mile. They had no idea what it was. It never dawned on me because we all know 8 Mile. And he was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "So where Eminem grew up, it's not a good area." I'm like, "He lived in Warren, right on the other side, and that part of Warren is no better than Detroit." I go, "Yeah." So he grew up in a bad area. I go, Kid Rock, on the other hand, lived about 20 to 25 miles outside of Detroit in a nice ass.
Yeah.
So don't believe his bullshit. All right.
Perpetrating. Yeah.
That's why a lot of people, to me, I'm just like, Kid Rock was his old shit.
Rich kid. Yeah. That's
funny. I don't know if he was rich, but he did not.
Yeah.
Like Romeo, again, the name Romeo. Come on. Like you grew up in Romeo. Just listen to the name. It's not a poor neighborhood. 3-star draw. Yeah, Kid Rock ain't from Detroit or Nashville. You guys can have them though. You guys can, right? Like,
yeah.
I'll keep Eminem because even though I'm not a rap guy, I do think he has pretty good music. Now I'm never going to turn it on and listen to it, but if it's on, I'm not like, "Oh, this is awful." I hear Kid Rock.
You're not mad. Yeah.
The Kid Rock will sell out 7 shows in 7 days here in Michigan. I'm like, I cannot believe that there are people that will go there and listen to that music 7 days in a row to sell out. And I'm not talking like a hall. I'm talking an amphitheater.
Yeah, arenas. Yeah.
What the hell? Like, dude, 7 days in a row. Come on. Anyway, enough about people from Detroit. So you get into high school. I'll repeat myself a lot, guys. So if you're new here, you're like, "Why does this guy repeat himself?" Because I'm an idiot. So you said you got into basketball. Now, are you tall? It's hard to say.
I'm 5'8".
Okay. So
5'8",
not tall.
and I got into sports younger, like 12, 13, when everybody, young boys, start getting into sports. But the thing with my family, it's weird. I matured early. I'm one of them kids I was been this big since I was 11 years old. I just had that spurt, and I was dominating everybody in the neighborhood, and then they just all kind of grew past me. So I was 5'8", about $180 with chest pecs when I was friggin' 11 years old. But then it never stopped. I mean,
are there other types of pecs? Are there other types of pecs than chest pecs?
Yeah. Hey,
like, are there arm pecs that I don't know? I mean, I spent a lot of time in the gym. I've never been like, hey, let's go work on my leg pecs today.
I'm not a gym guy. I'm not a gym guy. It was just always kind of like natural. It was weird. My kids were like that too. It's just we mature early. Like I woke up one day and this voice was just there. I was like 12. I was like,
I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for the growth spurt. I'm waiting for my balls to drop so I get a deep voice. I'm like, I'm so fucked. That's the vibe. Says, yo, Punk, I just started watching Woody's channel 2 weeks ago. Shout out to you for putting him on. Woody, love your content, bro. You an army building full OG. Yes, you are. And you know what? That's the whole purpose of putting people on. A lot of channels will put on people that are just like big creators or guys. Mm-hmm. Dude, I want to put people on that have supported me, right? It's called giving back. That's why it's called Thursday with a friend. It's not Thursday with someone you barely fucking know. That's never been in your channel.
Thursday with somebody.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah. Like anytime that someone, especially when someone insults me and says, yeah, that punk with toys, I always want to be like, it's a punk with toys. You left the A out, asshole. Like I'm offended. Like you are insulting me, but you're not even getting my name right.
Get my name right if you're gonna diss me.
All right, so you got these chest pecs.
Chest pectacles. Chest pectacles. Yeah, see.
So again, you played basketball for a bit.
Yeah, I couldn't play football. Really that's what I was getting at. I was too big. My mother always had to bring my birth certificate around and shit because they were like, your kid can't play with my kid because he's going to kill him. And so I couldn't play football, so I had to get into basketball because like I said, I was 5'8" at 11. So I was always the center. And then, like I said, by 7th, 8th grade, everybody started getting bigger than me, and I stayed the same.
If only I could relate. Okay, I'm gonna. How do you say it again? Zach. We're just gonna go
Zakanin.
Zakanin. I know it's so easy. I asked Woody at TrevorCon what he did to be in such great shape. He said, "I smoke weed." Oh, and they ride my bike and smoke weed.
That's what I do. I'll go on like a 26-mile ride on my bike. We got a nice bike path. I was telling him in Rhode Island. It kind of rides the whole coast. So you get to just stare at the ocean the whole time. There's a nice breeze. You pull over, make a pit stop.
My fan says a punk with a cute dog. Eric Thurman says Friday with an enemy. I could probably fill up the rest of the year with people that don't like me. And Mr. Mad Yes has jumped in. Roman and that guy, man.
Are they trying to rename your show?
You know what? People have been trying to do that for quite some time. I have the shirt. I mean, I have shirts with Roman's face on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like you had to play basketball. So what else did you do throughout high school?
Chase girls, get cars, get money, do criminal activity type situation things, get in trouble. Every kid has to get in trouble from the hood to determine which way you're going to go. I feel very, strong on that. It's going to happen to us all one day if you're from the hood. Something's going to happen that's going to make you pick a way you have to go, and that's what happened to me.
I say that about a lot of people that, hey, you know what? Something happens, especially like with parents, like people that don't have a parent, like they bolt to like they either do the exact same thing or they're the exact opposite. Billy Renfro says, you couldn't pay me to watch Kid Rock. That is, just so you guys know, that is the best comment, and it will remain the best comment. Someone could send me a $200 super chat right now, and it would be better than that. Mython, I'm trying not to say his name because there's no one to let him out. Because then he'll just bark till he finally gives up. So that's why I'm trying not to say or instigate him right now. He says Roman's wine woke up my dog. Roman and that punk. I've had more than my fair share of people that go, yeah, we watch it, and when he makes that noise, like when he barks or something, my dog will jump up.
Mm-hmm.
My dog will look, and he's watch for Roman. I'm like, that's why he hasn't really been making too many appearances. All right, so you get out of toys, you're chasing girls, you're kind of playing sports, but sounds like not really.
Yeah, not really. Just it was too structured. Like I said, we moved to East Providence for high school. When I started high school, we moved to East Providence, and so it's like a different neighborhood, kind of suburby. But I was going back every weekend, back to my old neighborhood because that was where all my friends were and everything, and just doing dumb stuff.
Eric Thurman wants to know, what was your first concert? So what type of did you get it? Did you start to find yourself with music? I know for me, like I found punk pretty early on. I mean, there was a lot of the rap that I like the harder rap, like Public Enemy and stuff like that. It seemed to really fit with the skate genre, but punk was it for me. Was there anything that you did you find like a specific genre of music that you just gravitated to around that age? And then what was your first?
Yeah, it was hip hop, I would say. Definitely R&B.
Okay. Now, did you
That was
start
when
to
everything was exploding back then? Every other week there was a new artist out, and they had a good hook or something like that. Like I always say, I grew up in the perfect time for music and pop culture in general.
Mr. Madga says, "Smash them likes or Kid Rock's gonna move in with Thorns." please hit that fucking like button. Although he has a big enough house that I could live there and he'd never even know that I'm there. So. No, my shows never get derailed at all.
No, that's the best part, dude. Though.
No, again, there is a reason why it's called Monday Night.
That's real, it's real.
Yeah. It's become more structured than what it was at the beginning. I will say that. Where this show has become, like at first I had questions all lined up, but as you start to know more and more people, it's hard to stay completely on track with what you're doing. So, all right. So, did you graduate from high school?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only asked because I made the mistake of saying when you graduated from high school and you're in the toy enhancer, I was like, I didn't graduate. Like, motherfucker.
Yeah, I did.
I
was always a smart kid. I just did enough to just get through it because I just wanted to get it over with. But I know you needed a diploma.
Yep, I can say I know a few people like that. One might live here. Tools of the trade.
C's just good enough to get out of high school. I had all the street smarts I needed at that point. I looked at it like that,
Yeah. So what did you do after high school? Did you go to college or did you go into the working force?
I kind of just chilled around for a year because I graduated when I was 17 because of the way my birthday felt. So I wasn't even 18 when I graduated, so I had to kind of chill that whole summer and wait till I was 18. But what happened was I ended up getting popped. I was stealing cars. I used to steal cars when I was a kid for extra money.
Yeah. So can you talk about some of the past discretions that you may have done? Nothing that can get you in trouble.
Yeah. No, it's so old. It's been squashed and all that kind of stuff. I used to, in my neighborhood, there was a lot of people stole cars because there was drugs involved. So that was the quick and easy way to make money. There was a couple junkyards in our neighborhood or surrounding area, and the guy would pay you $75 a car, and he would chop them. He called it, where you change the VIN numbers, and then he could resell them.
$75. You were stealing
that was
someone's
big money.
You were stealing someone's fucking car note for $75 fucking dollars.
Yeah, but you did it 4 times a night. You were good for the day. You had enough for some 40s, some blunts,
I'm sorry.
some tapes. You got tapes.
People like you is why my fucking insurance is through the roof, right?
Well, I learned my lesson. Just like I said, there's always things always happen for a reason, and I had to learn my lesson the hard way.
In the end, as long as you didn't hurt somebody and you learned your lesson, that's what really matters.
But I was doing that all through like I said, I was going back every weekend to my old hood and just, just skating by on the week with school, just enough to make my mom happy, and then couldn't wait till Fridays I could go back to the hood and would disappear till Sunday night when I had to come home. And we were just doing dumb shit.
Now, what did you end up getting busted for?
I'm not going to say any names, but what happened was I stole a Delta 88, a 1984 Delta 88. It was the cleanest thing I've ever seen in my life. One of these big boats, because that was the shit in my neighborhood back then. So, and I kept it like a dummy. So I had the guy chop it for me, and then I kept it instead of just selling it, letting him sell it to somebody in another state or something like that. Because that was the thing. You change the thing, and then you just get rid of it. The quicker, the better. It's just gone. And I kept it like a dummy because it was just so nice. And then I did something to a girl. And then the next thing I know, she ratted on me, and then I was in trouble. So I learned a lot of lessons in that span.
All right, so quickly, Mr. Madga says, Woody, I love your reviews, brother, but you keep skipping us on the setups you do. I see the topic in a dope ass set for the quick minute, but you never show it.
Yeah, I'm just the guy that I do what I want to do, I mean, I hope you people like it, but I mean, I just want to do what I want to do.
As you get older, as you do more YouTube, you'll get more structure on stuff. Derek Holloman says hello, and quickly, once again, thank you guys very much. But
here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Jay Astro with the $2 super chat. Woody's a menace. I'm calling the cops. And you know what? Okay, so I'm just gonna say this right now.
It gets
you
better,
look
Astro.
at this.
Better.
But you see Jay Astro here. Woody is a menace. I'm calling the cops. Look at his little picture, and he's that guy looking out the window.
Yeah.
Like it totally looks like you were that guy looking out the fucking window.
Yeah, peeping out the mini blind.
Getting that.
Yeah.
All right, so you keep this car rather than selling it for $75.
Yeah.
You get a girl mad at you, who rats on you. All right, and you said the story gets better.
Yeah, and it turns out that this car was a retired police chief from Massachusetts, so they went all out on me. And I have a thing called restitution, so I had to pay everything back. When you take the car, you just throw everything out you don't need. So he had some golf clubs in the trunk, and I threw them out, left them in the parking lot at the mall. I know he got them because he went to find his car and it was gone, but I had to pay for every single thing in the car. They itemized it all. Oh, it was crazy because it was a retired police chief.
So how much did you have to pay? Do you remember?
It was probably around $5,000 for the car, and he never got the car back or anything like that because I altered all the VIN. Well, not me personally, but all the VIN numbers were altered and stuff. So they just kind of put them in police auctions and shit after that. So I had to pay for everything.
Travis B74 has jumped in. Nice to see you. All right, so you obviously got busted. What happened from there?
Well, at that point too, I made a decision I was going to join the Navy because one of the positive male role models in my life at that time, my cousin's boyfriend was in the Navy. and he was on a submarine. So it's funny, like it as later my journey kind of all connects. It's weird, but so I wanted to be a submariner. So I in high school I took the ASVAB and I was waiting, and then that summer, like I said, I had it off because I wasn't 18 yet. I got busted, and all that went to shit.
Four Feather says, "Man, Woody, you really know how to pick them." Well, clearly his judgment on things wasn't the best. He was stealing cars for $75.
That was a lot of money.
Yeah, it was a lot of money for the people that came out to get their fucking car and was like, "Where's my car?" And they were like, "I hope someone got at least $75 for it."
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so you wanted to join the Navy.
Yep. Like I said, that positive male role model kind of talked to me. He knew what was going on when I was doing this, and then like it all just came to a culmination in that summer that I had off while I was waiting to turn 18. And then I do turn 18, and then that day is the day I get busted. They were watching me and my friends and all that other kind of shit. So I don't know. Then my life kind of went to shit there. My mother was pissed. She had to pay all kinds of lawyer bills and everything.
And clearly she had just stopped getting Social Security because you turned 18. Yep. Mm-hmm. So while you're doing this, how does your mom and your sister like take it? Like, how are they dealing with it? Or do they even know? Or do they care?
Knew. They knew. They didn't care, I don't think. I mean, okay. My sister was off doing her own thing. Like I said, we're the same age. So I'm a 17-year-old boy. She's a 17-year-old girl doing the same thing. We're both going back to where we came from every weekend. And because we moved to the suburbs, my mom finally saved up enough for a little house. But we always wanted to go back to where we were from, where all our friends were.
All right. So you get busted. What happens with getting busted?
I got arrested. I had to, spend the weekend in jail and all that shit.
But you didn't serve it in real time.
No, I got a good lawyer. A friend of mine put me on to a good lawyer, and he got me 5 years probation after all that shit. He got it down to like possession of a stolen motor vehicle and altered VIN numbers. That was a separate charge because you can't do that. But it was still a felony. It was still a felony.
So what happened after that? Did you decide to clean up your life at that point?
Mm-hmm. Well, the Navy was out, so I was struggling on what to do, and then it just happened. I was seeing this girl it's not my wife, and her job was to go drop people off at a company that built submarines. And I'm from Rhode Island. It's been here since the 50s, 60s or whatever, and I never knew it was there. And so I applied there. She said, "Oh, they're hiring. Why don't you go there?" And I did. And I had to explain myself about the felony and everything because they're doing all background checks. This is all Department of Defense work and shit. And but they let me go because it was non-violent and it was non-drugs. So, if it was a drug charge or like domestic or something like that, you can't get hired. But because it was just stealing cars, I got hired. And
they were like, "You can't steal a sub."
Yeah, no.
Machine Man says, wasn't the military an alternative to jail in the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, but this is the
90s.
This is the late 90s, right?
Yeah, I graduated in 97.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is the late 90s. Mm-hmm. But you're right, like, well, that's because they had like Vietnam and shit. Like, we need people. Yeah. You're a bad person. Let's go. Let's go. We're gonna give you a gun.
Fascinated with like machines and robots, and ever since I was a kid, all those years, I always have a good imagination and interest in things like that. Even though I wasn't collecting toys for those periods, it was still on my mind, that kind of stuff. Just nobody knew about it because I was trying to be Mr. Cool Guy and shit like that.
Just Jeff, Woody ain't that fucking old, man.
Yes, Vietnam. No,
he just sees all that white hair. Like,
yeah, that's a different story.
All right, so you got the job working building the subs at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been there since the late 90s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. 98, I started. I went in. By the time you get hired and you do all the checks and all that shit, I got in at the end of 97, and my date was January 4th, 1998. I started, yeah. Because you have an anniversary, so everything goes by that. That's why I know that exact date.
Ed says it was alternative until early 90s in some states about the military. I'm wondering if that's. I wonder if Ed knows that.
No, they didn't. I think they're talking about like the judge make you go in the military. No, this happened before.
Yeah.
This was while I was still in high school, signed up. Like I said, I just got as far as the ASVAB, and I had to wait to be 18, and then I fucked it up.
That's a vibe. Says all that Kush intake turned Woody's hair white.
No.
Jay Astro asks, Woody, what was World War II like?
It was tough. All the dysentery everywhere. Civil War. I was there. I was Civil War. I got the hair.
All right, so you get this job working on subs or building subs. Obviously, you're not like building one. It's not like a mechanic where you build a fucking car. And, it's a group project.
You build a piece of a sub.
Yeah. So once you started doing that, how did you turn your life around? Like, what did you start doing at that point? I'm assuming you weren't just working.
Yeah, I was just working at that point and still trying to hang out, but then it just started getting less and less, and I ended up just focusing on work, man, and that's kind of where I've been my whole life. I always think about where I came from and what I got to do to not never be there, but just do better for myself.
All right, so you're working, you're making your money, right? Like, did you get back into collecting? Like, when did you decide?
Probably 99. I had a part-time job because I was only making minimum wage back then, which was, I want to say it was $8.50. I started at that place, and so I worked at Ames department store, and I had a part-time job in the Toy Biz, and the Star Wars kind of got me back into that collecting again.
Power of the Force. It's called the power of collecting and buying lots of shit that ain't worth money anymore.
But I'm always a collector. Like I collect a bunch of things. I collect sneakers. I collect hats. This time I'm always collecting that, but the toys kind of took a break. You know what I'm saying?
So you were always, and I usually say that. Like I talked about, like when I was younger, I would take everyone's old skateboard and I'd hang it on the wall. I probably had like 100 skateboards at one time.
Yeah.
Again, none of them were new. They were all beat up. And I was collecting, and I didn't really realize that's what I was doing, being a collector.
Yeah. If you're
a
collector, you're kind of always collecting. It might be something different, but you're always collecting something.
Even if it's like a run of like 10 little things, right? And then you're like, okay. And I've always said, like, collectors shouldn't have kids, because I've told this story before. My oldest daughter, Care Bears came back out, and you could only find them at Walgreens, and they were just remolds. And there was either 9 or 10 of them, and we had all of them but one. And I would go to all these Walgreens looking, and her mom was like, she doesn't care. I'm like, that's not the point. There's 10, she has 9. And I have no idea where those are. They're probably thrown in the garbage. And I never found the last one. And today, like that, it still bothers me that I never found it.
Yeah. You're just collecting for her, and you're saying it's for you, and you're saying it's for her. She wants these.
So Shark Eyes, who I know is a shoe collector, says, for Woody, what's the crown jewel of your sneaker collection?
I'd probably say my infrared 4s. I like those a lot. No, you're like, what is that? Jordans, Michael Jordan number 4s infrareds. They're like
Which
black, gray, and neon, and some kind of neon red. I like those a lot right now. I'm really feeling those.
I'm sure I know it if I saw it.
The one with the netting on them.
Which one had the first clear sole? I thought that was the 3 or the 4. It had netting on the side.
No.
I had a black and silver one.
No. They all had soles back then. There was nothing with they had the air bubble, but not the whole sole clear.
No, this was the one with the first clear sole.
Oh, you're talking about the 3s. Yeah, the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
The 3s.
I had those. Yeah. And then I want to say the 2s with the little piece that stuck up in the back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I had those, but I was still so small at the time that they were kid size. So it looked different, and I hated them. So I was able to get the next year. I don't know why the fuck I got Jordans. They were some of the most comfortable shoes I've ever had in my entire life. Like that Jordan 3, the black one with the clear sole. I love that shoe. It was so comfortable, and it looked nice because there's not too much. I don't like a lot of stuff on my shoes. My son says, "I'm proud of you, Woody. You're a great man with a wonderful family, amazing toy collection, which you willingly share with people if they are looking for it. Heart of gold." I think he's kissing up to get something. I'm just saying.
No, Mike, that's my boy.
Terrence St. John says,
Yep.
Do they make those sneakers in toddler size for punk? See, look, little people here. Did you get the stickers yet, Terrence? Because you should have. Because they made it all the way to California with Cobweb. So I don't want to hear you haven't gotten any. All right.
Should have put a tracking number on them stickers for him, for Terrence.
It's not a bad idea. Just so I still don't understand. I still can't believe he didn't get any at Joe Fest because I was handing those things out.
Yeah.
I mean, those things were like my business card.
He's probably busting you.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, considering how much that guy is buying and shit. All right, so what is DS77 100%? I don't know what that means.
Down South said something profound. And
Down South agreeing. Sorry. I'm not used to seeing that. I always say down. And he's going by 3 stars. I hate the fact that Darren, I'm just calling him Darren. His name is Darren, people. Since he can't figure out what YouTube name he wants, his name is Darren. All right?
Well, that's why I put the Figure Addict on the end of my name, because you said that to DS, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of, it is. Now that I thought about it, it's weird having your channel name just your name. So that's, I added the Figure Addict around the same time he changed his too, because what you said resonated with me a little bit. And I was like, yeah, it does sound weird to just, I'm Woody222, and then my channel is Woody222. So I switched it up.
No, see, I think that's better, because that's how people find you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I listened to you.
Yeah.
You said something one night, and I was like, yeah, I should listen to that.
Yeah. I told them, like, can I tell you something? And sure. I'm like, I fucking hate. I might have even said it that way. I don't know. I was very blunt. Fucking hate that you do this. Mython says, Woody, you got to teach Lawrence the mystical ways of PB and J Ritz. I talked about that with Tony when he was on, and I used to love peanut butter and jelly, and I love peanut butter and jelly, Mountain Dew. Like for some peanut butter and Mountain Dew just go really good together for me.
Ooh.
Yeah, I haven't had it in a while, but like if I had a peanut butter and jelly, I had to have Mountain Dew. They just went so. I mean, I've had the peanut butter and crackers, but I never thought about putting it on Ritz. But it's not really that much different than white bread. It's just like cracker.
No, yeah.
So it's not one of those things where you're like, oh my god, how could you do that? It sounds pretty good.
I got a big ass mouth, so I can pop like the whole thing. That's why it's a cracker. I can pop the whole thing in my mouth and bite that shit.
Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, so all right, so you're working at Ames. You said you started collecting there. Now, have you been collecting since then?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So you've been collecting for 25 plus years.
Yes. Yeah.
With
Up to classified, it was only GI Joe 82 through 90.
That's all you were collecting?
I had triplicates of everything. The only thing I didn't have, like if you see the way I collect classified, that's how I collected. That's how I collect. So the only thing I didn't have is a Missile Command. I will not pay that money for that because I wanted a pristine one, and I'm not paying $900 for cardboard. I just can't do it.
That's the next HasLab, the cardboard missile.
Maybe with only all patches.
With all patches.
And a poster, patches and a poster, and a quilt. Here's a GI Joe quilt.
A quilt. I've not heard the word quilt in a long time. I do have a GI Joe fleece that's on my bed. It's like the only thing my ex gave me while we were together that was actual thought. Like he likes GI Joe. I'm gonna take one of those no pill fleeces, put them together. Roman loves it. Like he loves like laying on it. It doesn't ever get beat up or anything. My ex would always just buy me like shirts, and she would still buy me shirts after we split up, from the kids. And finally, I told the kids, I'm like, I don't want any more shirts. Like I don't need any more shirt. I have shirts. The last shirt she got me was the Detroit Lions, which I'm not a Lion fan. I know I live in Detroit, but I'm not a Lions fan. I watch them, but I'm not a Lions fan. And it was an extra large, and I'm like, she's like, I'm not sure if that's your size. I'm like, no, this is too big. I wear a large. And she's like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm fucking positive. All right.
Yeah. I buy my clothes. I know what size I wear.
I can't wear a medium because it's way too tight. I can't wear an extra large because it's super long. So I buy larges, and mostly, especially when I'm a little bit bigger, I'm a little bit smaller right now, I fill it out. So I think people look at me and like, oh, this guy's just trying to show off his arms. I'm like, no, I can't wear a fucking extra large. Or else it's like I'm back to being a 90s skateboarder. It's down to my knees and shit, Did
you wear like the Jenkos and shit like that? Or was that past you?
No, I never wore that stuff, but I wore big jeans. I used to wear I had these 54 and these 56-inch waist jeans. Now, mind you, I was probably a 28 at best. All right.
54 waist?
Yes. There was a
Holy
54
cow.
and a 56.
Wow.
And they were just bunched together just because they were big and baggy.
Yeah.
I was just telling someone the other day, I knew it was an issue when I was trying to kickflip these 7 steps at this place we used to go. And my buddy's laughing because every time I would land, I'd land on the board and then I'd roll. And he's laughing. I'm like, what the fuck's so funny? And he goes, every time you fucking land and you roll, you look like a bag of clothes rolling down the street.
Mm-hmm.
There was like, fuck you.
A laundry dust ball.
That's exactly. All right, so you're getting to collecting. You're only doing you start collecting. You're collecting these GI Joes. You're getting in the 2000s. Not a lot of GI Joe. Well, actually, there was a lot of GI Joe going on. But did you collect like the 4-inch figures? And
I had the 25th and the 50th. I collected those, but I just left them on cards and kind of hung them on the wall.
Okay.
I never opened any of those. But
so
I was mostly ARAH. I was just all ARAH. I was going back and driving to toy stores, and because it was different back then, you could get something complete for $25. Now it's $125 on eBay.
Yeah. Some of those O-rings that I picked up in the past 8 years, like probably the 4 years after my ex and I had split up. I paid like $60 for something, and you're like, wow, that's pretty high. And then you're like, oh, it's $150 right now, and selling for $150. Not even, Snake Eyes, like the original Snake Eyes, version 2 Snake Eyes. And then I ended up with a big lot for like I bought this lot for like $275. And after I had bought it, and the guy sold it, it was a friend of mine. He sold it to me because he knew I was going to keep it. When I added everything up, and this was probably 8 years ago, it was well over $1,000 worth of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whale is perfect. The whale is perfect. Yeah. The Mauler is perfect. Everything that he gave me was fucking perfect. And there was also a version 2 Snake Eyes complete in it.
Mm.
So it was like, shit, dude,
Nice.
that was $100 right there. And I just got one. Like I had bought one like a year or two before that complete. So I'm like, I have two. And I finally sold one. It was like, I think I sold it for like $125 on eBay.
Mm.
I pretty much made my money back right there.
Oh, yeah.
So you're collecting toys, which is always very, very mature.
Well, no, at this point, I got my own apartment. Nobody's coming in there. We're not chilling at Woody's house. Because at this point, my friends, nobody even knew. I was kind of, embarrassed by it, and I just kept it between me. My sister knew, and my mother. That's about it.
So you were like embarrassed by it, but what made you continue to keep doing it? Like what was it that made you want to do it?
I just love G.I. Joe, dude. It was, I don't know, I can't explain it really. It was just, it was there so many times in my life when things weren't there. G.I. Joe was always there, playing, making string zip lines, and I just remember, and I actually, it sounds stupid, but I learned shit from that cartoon at that age. I was in the right age, no father figure, that cartoon taught you shit.
Well, that's what the PSAs were there for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds stupid, but I mean, they were there. That's exactly what they were there for.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, my mother wasn't around at that time. I'm no father figure. I'm learning what I can and trying to pick up everything I can from the streets and from the TV and anybody. I was just a people watcher. I've always had that problem. I don't really call it a problem, but I love people watching. I love observing. I learn something every day. What not to do, what to do. I'm always trying to learn.
And there was some exec that was pushing for those PSAs and said, if we reach just one person, well, we found the person it met. It reached Woody222.
Yes.
Woody's going into school and he's like, don't touch that live electric wire. And everyone was so stupid. They're like, we should grab it.
But nobody was there to tell me that. And so Peggy Bundy wasn't going to tell me. I had to tell her.
I just love thinking now that there's that one exec that, because if we reach just one person, well, guess what? Yeah. You reached one person, because I've never heard anyone else say that.
I learned to lock up my bike after it got stolen like 15 times in the hood from G.I. Joe.
What about from Masters of the Universe? You learn anything from He-Man? Or did you not watch it?
I didn't. I had a few figures. I didn't really get into that till later.
But the cartoon had the PSA at the end too.
Oh, did they? No, I don't.
Oh yeah. They had their own PSA.
My favorite cartoons was Gummy Bears, the Disney Gummy Bears, where they used to bounce on their ass. I used to love that cartoon. I could still sing the theme song word for word. And G.I. Joe. Those are my jams.
Machine Man, stop! That dog might have rabies.
Yep, exactly.
I'm sorry. That's what I'm thinking. Like Woody's sitting there, like, "Oh, good. I won't touch an electrical wire."
Yep.
Alex asks, "Evening, everyone. Greetings from Costa Rica."
Nice.
I think you're the first person from Costa Rica who's ever joined the chat, so thank you very much. And 80s Toy Boy says gummy bears were great. All right, so you're collecting these toys. Were you dating at the time?
Not at that point, but
getting a hotel room. Just get a hotel room. Like I thought you had your own apartment. We need to get a hotel.
No, I'm not dating, but that's what cars were for. I had big boats all the time. I always had like, it was the early 2000s, but I was driving 85 Delta 88 Cutlasses. Those were the style, like those big big cars, ghetto gliders and shit. But then soon after, I met my wife.
Okay. So when did you meet your wife?
'01, I want to say.
One second here. Sorry, Roman is licking
No problem.
paws, but he's in a spot that when I go to lay down, it's going to be wet, and it's not from a
From
girl,
what?
so I don't want it
From
wet.
slobber?
Right?
Does he have
Yeah.
slobber? Oh.
Well, no, he licks his paws, so then he ends up licking. He's like
Mm.
right where I lay down. So now he's looking at me angrily. He'd go anywhere else and do it. All right. So when did you meet her? I'm sorry. When did you meet her?
'01.
01,
2001. Okay. Halloween night. I remember it very specifically.
You remember specifically.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Woody222.
Yeah, Lunchbox Killer says we all have been there. We all might have been nerds collecting toys, keeping it silent.
Mm-hmm.
I was a skateboarder, so I really didn't like.
Yeah, but that can go kind of hood. I mean, together. Trying to be a freaking hood dude and having a toy collection doesn't really mix at that point. I'm looking at it like that because there ain't nobody I know talking about toys when I'm going back.
And today it's completely opposite.
Yeah, today is different. Yeah.
And the Savage Land has joined, saying Woody. I'm sorry. Now everyone knows who you are, Woody. That's all I hear is Jesse. Everyone knows who you are, Woody. All right. So you start dating your wife. You said you. So how did you meet her? Since you specifically remember.
Well, I'm pumping gas at a gas station, and it's one of the bigger gas stations, so it has like, I don't know, 12 pumps. So the islands. She comes speeding in a fucking tiny little Hyundai, and it's a car full of girls, and they see me. I'm out there pumping gas because my car, the shit was in the back. You had to put down the license plate and put the gas back there. And they're all whistling at me and all that kind of shit, and like, yay, trying to holler at me, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I could tell they're just young chicks, younger than me, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just go put my gas in and go to where I'm going. So I pay it no mind. I'm like, hey, whatever. And then my wife is the driver. She gets out of the car, and I'm like, my jaw hits the floor. I'm like, yay! So I start running over there looking stupid. And I'm like, yo, baby. No, I'm just playing. I'm not the type to go talk to girls, but I had to go talk to her. I usually I'm a quiet dude. I'm the guy that's always in the back of the room. But she got out of the car because, like, in my head, I'm thinking, oh God, not this ditzy chick right here. But then she got out, and obviously she won me over because you get that initial attraction right away.
And she heard that voice and was like, "Here you go."
Mm-hmm. Well, I was always, dressed nice. I'm that guy. I have style and all that, so I get it. And but it's funny. I remember because it was the first time I actually went and talked to a girl rather than the other way around. Because I'm kind of just like the mellow dude, and I said I'm chasing girls, but they're just around, and you just end up meeting people and stuff like that. I'm not I can't think of the name for it right now, but the guy that like hits on women and stuff. That's never been my MO, but it was that day.
So you said that was Halloween though?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how does it go? She just, here's my number?
Yeah. She was interested in me first. Like I said, she was hollering at me, and then they pulled up to go into the store. I was at the gas pump, and they just kept saying stuff, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then she got out, and I was like, okay, let me go over there, finish my gas, and go over there and talk to her real quick, because I never seen nobody like that. Let me just say it. My wife got one of the fattest asses I've ever seen in my life, and I love it. I came out there, I said it. All right, it's out. It's out there in the world. She's 5'7", beautiful, and the booty is just, I love it. I'm an ass guy.
I couldn't tell. I was trying to figure that out after. I'm like, I wonder if he likes asses.
Yeah.
I'm glad you clarified that for us and everyone else.
Yep. Booty all day.
All right,
like I
so
say to my wife, up top 2 bee stings, but she got an ass that can swallow up a G-string. Sorry.
please don't, because
I shared too much.
no, this is entertaining. This is what I want from a show. This is what I want from a show.
That's our little joke that I always say to her. It's a Kanye West lyric, and I always say that to her.
That sounds as bad as a fucking Kid Rock lyric.
Well, now, yeah, but I'm talking when Kanye was cool. Back when Kanye was cool, bro.
All right, so you give her your number, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Start dating.
Yep.
Now, you have to break this news that you're this toy collector that has a house, an apartment full of G.I. Joes.
Yeah, 1-bedroom apartment, nothing special. Back then, you can get an apartment for $350.
But it's full of G.I. Joes.
Yes.
And I picture
everywhere.
Well, I picture it's like those movies or TV shows where someone opens the door and there's all these porcelain dolls that are just creepy. Like, I'm assuming that's how it is. Like, so how do you break it to her that you are a toy collector? Because
I tell her I'm a collector. I ease her with that, because she always sees I have different hats on, match my sneakers, everything match. So I tell her I'm a clothes collector. I collect clothes and stuff like that to kind of ease it in. So my apartment was all G.I. Joes, hats, and sneakers and clothes. That was everything.
So you didn't lie.
No.
You just omitted certain things that you collect. See, that's smart.
Yeah. So I see how she feels about that, and she's like, yeah, that's cool. And then I'm like, but let me go back. My wife is like a super religious Catholic. So she's going to church. She has, people in her family that are priests and stuff like that in the Catholic Church, which I'm not going to speak on that, but so she's always been, she's younger than me. I was 23. She was 18 at the time we met.
Okay.
So she had to be home every night by 10 o'clock. So she could never really come to my house, because back then everybody would just drive around and, drive around the town, bump your music, do that kind of stuff. Yeah. So she never really seen my house. And then one day she wanted to, and that's when I started working her in. I'm like, yeah, I'll bring it in a little bit. She thought I was hiding something else, but it was that.
God damn, I thought you were hiding drugs.
No, she thought I was lying about maybe I still live with my mom and everything. Like I said, I had a nice car. I always had nice things. That's my style.
Yes, 80s toy boy, the 40-year-old virgin, Steve Carell. I've had people say that to me, like, yeah, you're gonna be just like the 40-year-old virgin. I'm like, bullshit, I have 2 kids already. I can't speak going
proof.
forward.
I got proof.
All right.
Yeah, proof.
I can't speak going forward. There's gonna be any more sex in my life, but hey, that's a whole nother stream. All right.
That's what you say. Been there, done that, right?
All right. So you break her in slowly and easily. How does that go?
It goes good, but at this point, it's moving fast, because we're just, we're made for each other. We can both tell. So we're, going along, and then finally I don't tell her till the second she goes through the door. I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, I collect toys. Not toys. I said GI Joes, and then I opened the door and voila.
And what was her impressions? Like,
She didn't get it.
How long into the relationship is this?
Probably about 7, 8 months, something like that. Like I said, we moved quick.
Oh, with 8 months, and she hasn't been over. Doesn't know. That's a long
Well,
time. That's more than enough time to
like I said, she had to
fall
be
in love
home
with someone.
at a certain time, and we would always just chilling, driving around. She didn't smoke. She's like you, straight edge. She doesn't do anything, and so she would you always in the front seat. She wanted to be in my passenger seat, and we were just chilling. That's what you did back then. So we were always out doing something. We'd be at the park or something like that. Cars would meet up and just bump music and stuff, or we go to roller skating rinks and shit like that back then.
Mr. Mad Gus, Geraldo Rivera ain't got nothing on our performance.
I don't got a safe that I can open up though.
I know. That's what I was thinking, right? Just like the safe thing. All right, so wait, how did she take it again? Because I don't.
She didn't understand it, but she accepts it, and
Okay.
she respects it. She's not mad at me, or it never comes up as a fight or anything like that because I always handle my business first.
No, does she collect anything?
No.
Okay.
But she's like a avid horror. She loves horror, but she doesn't collect the statues but the movies. She likes movies.
She likes, but like she's never been like, oh my god, look at that stuff when you're sitting at the toy aisle, and looking at the NECA stuff. She's never like, oh, I need that Jason. I need that.
No.
Really?
I've bought her a couple, and they just fucking sit there and collect dust. So
I think
because she likes Freddy. She's like I said, she's younger than me, so Freddy was her shit. Jason, and Michael Myers. So she really likes them, but she likes the old, the obscure movies because you don't. She says it's more scary when you don't know who the people are that are in them. Like if you picture Tom Cruise in a horror movie, you're like, this can't be real. She kind of looks at it like that.
Really?
She likes to watch like the B class ones and stuff.
Are you clicking? You're clicking the lid. Okay. We can hear you clicking. You're clicking.
Shit! I didn't.
You just started doing it.
That's just a nervous tick. Yeah.
Don't feel bad because
I always got something in my hands because I'm mad.
For a while,
right now.
I was doing this, and Matthew was like,
I can hear it. Yeah.
I can't hear it, especially on Mondays. No, it's no big deal. And then Matthew was like, because I would always ask him, hey, how'd the show go? And he's like, yeah, people were mentioning you were tapping the microphone. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, every time you tap the microphone, it's making noise. I was like, what? He's like, you do it a lot. Because like, I get tics and I start doing shit and you don't think about it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So after that, it took me some episodes where I'm like, get in. All right, so she doesn't understand it, but she's totally cool.
Yes.
I just like my ex, she does not collect anything. She doesn't understand it. She had a horrible childhood, right? I mean, her childhood was awful to the point when her mom. I've never met her mom. I mean, she hadn't seen her mom in over 25 years, well before her kids were born. And last year, she sent me a text and said, "Mother Dearest died last night," and I was like, "Hey, I know you don't have a good relationship with her. You haven't talked to her in years. I mean, how when her brother died, her sister-in-law said, reached out to somebody like the half sister and said, let your mom know that he died, but she's not welcome at the funeral, even if she thinks she wants to come, but she wouldn't come anyway."
Yeah.
And I said, are you okay? And she was like, yeah, I'm fine. She's like, I'm just hoping I get some pictures back. I was like, again, she had a horror. I lost my mom, but I had a good childhood. So, but when her dad came finally to pick her up, she didn't get to take anything, not one toy. It was, come on, you're going with me. And then they lived in Detroit. So when she says she fucking lived in Detroit, she was one of those people that lived in Detroit just like you. Her and her dad lived upstairs from her aunt. So they kind of had like their own fucking place, you know? So it's like, you're telling me that type of stuff, and she didn't do nearly, I mean, she wasn't stealing cars for $75, so she probably would have.
Yeah, but you got to think, that was 40s with 99 cents back then. You could get a nice bag for 10.
You are trying to justify stealing someone's car for $75, right? Yeah.
No,
you can try all you want. It ain't fun.
No, I'm just saying where
I know.
I definitely don't condone that no more.
No,
it's a lesson you got to learn. That's all.
No, and that's why, like, I'm talking to you. I've talked to you numerous times. You're not. You can tell when sometimes you talk to someone, you're like, oh, you're the same fucking person from when you were a kid. Like, everything you're telling me, like, you haven't really changed. Like, I can tell talking to you that you're not that person. Like, you.
No, I've evolved. I like to think so.
No, you know, that's
my life could have went 10 different ways, and I'm glad it went this way. That's all I got to say.
No, and that's absolutely awesome, because I say the same thing. I go, if you looked at me, like if you watched me, you'd be like, you're the same person. Like my morals are still the same. Like everything that my laurels that I sit on, that I stand for. But if you think that I'm that same person that I was when I was 17, 18 years old, you're sadly mistaken, because there's still a lot of people that don't like me for the asshole that I was. I'm like, that's fine. I cannot change how I acted and how I treated people. But if you think that in my 40s that I'm still that same person, then you're wrong, and you don't have to forgive me. I mean that's your prerogative. With I hate using that fucking term because of Bobby Brown. I think anytime you say that, someone in his family dies. I'm sorry. Seriously, that guy has some tragic people dying in his fucking life, right?
He's had some tough times, definitely.
Okay, so she sees this G.I. Joe collection. She's like, this is awesome. Take me now, right?
No.
God damn it. I was just hoping that there was one out there that would be like that. I'm like, there could be hope for me still.
Yeah. So we met on Halloween, and then by the following, not that first Easter, the following Easter, I proposed to her because we were just meant to be. So like I said, we moved fast, and then we got married like 6 months later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We have action figure Addict 112. We went from stream to stream. You notice I didn't say his name.
Is it Kanan? Yeah.
Kanan. See, I can say it perfectly fine, but when you don't pronounce it first, I'm like, I can't. And we have the Prophet director jumping in here. As an action figure, I don't age, so I'm still the same person.
Nice.
I told the story Monday. I thought I didn't review this figure, so I have to like go grab them, get the stuff, and I have to review it just so I can say. And I've reviewed every single. But I'm like, are there other ones that I didn't review? Because I have no reason not. Like I had no reason not to. So now I'm just like how did I not? Why would I not have done it? But I also wasn't as vigilant when I started. I was just comparing the figures. I'm thinking maybe that was a reason. But now I'm going. But at the same time, I also deleted a video that I have no idea how I deleted. It was the Master of the Universe. I forget what it was. And I remember doing it because right before I went to Florida, and it was actually doing well for a Motu video of mine. And then I couldn't find it. It was like months later. I'm looking for it, and I was on Oz's stream, and we were talking about it. I'm like, I deleted a video. I had no idea how. And they're like, what? I'm like, I told them. And Cobweb was like, I remember that video. I'm like, oh, good. So it wasn't just me. Like, I didn't put it out there, right? Like, I'm not like, he's like, no, I remember. And a few of the people were like, yeah, I fully remember. I'm like, so I don't know how I deleted it. Maybe it was one of those where you're on the phone at night, you're like, oh, and It's not easy to delete a video.
Yeah,
not
I've heard of people
know it.
doing that before, though. Somebody told me that they deleted something by accident.
All right. So the G.I. Joe panties get wet. You get married.
Yeah. Well, like tell her there's two things I won't do. Quit G.I. Joe and weed. And she was okay with that.
And she doesn't smoke at all.
Nope. Nope. Not cigarettes, anything.
And that's never been a problem for her.
No, she's busy. My wife's a busy person. Not to say that she's not around, but she's always doing something that interests her, and and we'll link up and do things together. But we both have our kind of separate things. Like she'll watch the horror movies, and I'll come down here and mess around, or go upstairs and mess around and stuff like that.
Are you not into horror movies?
I'm not scared of them or anything. I'm just not a TV person, I'm not a big like I just binge watched The Boys the last season a week ago and I haven't watched TV since. It's never been a thing besides when I was a kid,
Okay. She's high on life.
Residual, maybe. I don't.
No, I'm not a horror fan. I mean, they don't like. I'm not like they normally don't scare me. Like I'm not really scared by things. I just don't find them very enjoyable. I'd rather watch a comedy or sci-fi or action movie. But I'll watch them. Like if I was dating someone and they want to watch them, I'll watch it. But
yeah,
I very seldom am I going to tell you, hey, let's go watch this. Like if it's a horror movie. And I would never tell you that I want to watch The Omen ever again because that is a fucking freaky ass movie.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I still say that's like the scariest.
The one where the little boy falls off the roof. Yeah, that's freaky.
Yes, the original. Yeah.
Yeah, the original. I said, my wife likes all the old stuff.
And anytime I see a list of like the scariest movies, that one's always like number 4 to 2, and I'm like, thank God it's just me, not me thinking back when I was like a teenager that it was scary. Like people still think that thing is scary as shit. All right, so you get married. She's fully accepting of you collecting action figures. Now, are you still collecting shoes and hats and everything?
They're not as much, but by this point, after we get married, all my toys go into bins. Because we moved to a new house and there's no room for my collection, but I still have it. So I'm still buying and I'm buying shit and it's going right into a bin in a closet.
So it's just going in. I'm sorry, I hate that. But again, I understand. I hate.
I know one day I'm gonna have the space I need to display it. So I'm a buyer right now. At that point.
And again, I was doing the same thing because when my ex and I were together, all my stuff was in a storage unit. It was when she moved out and her daughter moved out that I turned her old bedroom into the G.I. Joe room. And I was never going to kick. I mean, she's my daughter. I raised her since she was 5. So I mean, if she came back today and said, "Hey, I need to move," well, I mean, I'd probably kick my son out of his room.
Tubs. Yeah.
No, she can't have the G.I. Joe room. She can find another room. She can have my son's room, and he can find somewhere else.
Yeah. Take the couch.
She is always welcome to come back if she ever needed to. That's what I'm saying. She just can't have that room back.
Well, that's what I did with my oldest room. I took her room, but if she needs to come back, she needs to come back. But
yeah. Okay. So, what year did you get married?
03.
Okay. So you get married.
Yeah. So I've been married. Yeah.
You're collecting, but obviously you said it's gotten smaller. When does your first kid come along?
03. Right away. Because
all right, so I'm going to ask something that I've never gone down the road. You said she's very religious.
Yeah.
Was she like, we can't have sex till you're married? So you waited till you had to wait till you were married.
Oh, I didn't. But...
No, I know. Okay, I know you. Listen, I've already figured out you had it. All right, the girl fucking turned you in, and that's how you got busted stealing fucking cars. All right, it's pretty fucking clear you fucking weren't.
Yeah. Yes, she did. Yes.
Okay. Again,
Mm-hmm.
as you told the story, I was like, you guys, but like
Yeah.
the way you said it, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you were like, let's
Well,
get
I
married.
think there was some opportunity there too. She found. Like I said, I've been working. I was making good money by then. That was 3, 4, 5 years in, so I was doing okay in life, and it was just a good time, and everything worked out. It's crazy. I still
No, and
think it's
that's
crazy.
awesome. And
Yeah,
that's awesome because
from where I come from to that story, once I made that pivot point in my journey, it's just my life has been a blessing, dude.
No, I have a buddy that I skate with. He's with his high school sweetheart. They have one kid, and I'm like, "Have you guys ever been with anyone else?" And he's like, "Nope." I'm like, "You two have only slept with each other?" Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Good for you." Sounds fucking awful, but good for you.
Yep, even Roman had to say something about that.
Yeah. Roman's like, you cut my balls off. I don't get to sleep with anyone. My ex said I had to wait until we were married. The same she did. Oh,
damn,
man.
Mastro. He's always got the one-liners.
Again, I was trying to fill in like some of the gaps, and I'm like, all right. So that's cool,
Yep.
And I love the fact that it's worked out for you guys because you have 2 daughters, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, how old are your kids? Do you mind me asking?
One's about to be 22, and one's just turned 11.
All right,
So there's
and
a
their
big gap
last name and social security number?
What?
Mother's maiden name. Hold on, I gotta get a pen.
Yeah. My it's a funny thing you said that because my daughter collects all these with me. She's into it. My youngest, she loves G.I. Joe Classified. She loves spending time with me and cataloging and doing all that stuff. And damn, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah. Marijuana, folks. Nah. I forgot. Oh, what was I? So I was talking about. Yeah, she collects with me, so all this shit will be hers one day. I do have somebody to leave it to, thank God, and I can see in her eyes that it's real. Like she likes she knows the numbers like me. She knows stats about them and stuff. So hopefully she's got the collective spirit because my oldest doesn't.
Well, what's your oldest like?
She likes anime and video games.
So she understands. So she understands then, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't just roll her eyes.
Collect though. She just plays games, and she'll have like a statue here and there at her house. She has her own apartment now and everything.
But it's nothing that's like she doesn't really care. Like if someone took the statue, if someone broke it or stole the statue or moved it, like if I looked on my shelf when it's actually clean and stuff was moved, I'd be like, somebody moved that.
No, not her. She'd notice if her computer was gone, that like the game, or who touched my headphones, because she's got like the computer with the water in it and all that shit. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah. My son will look at something and be like, he's like, "Oh, is that new?" I'm like, "That thing's been there for 6 fucking months."
My wife does that.
You walk by it every day. Every day you walk by, and I know our mansion is huge, right? I know this house is huge, right? Like he sees stuff that is like sitting in a box that's just been sitting there for months, and he's like, "Oh, you got something new?" I'm like, "Dude, you've walked by this so many times, and I told you about it. This is your mom's. I'm finally looking at it. It's been sitting here for 3 months. You walk by it all the time. You put shit on top of it." Oh, I never noticed. Yeah. Aaron, I did not move anything on your shelf because it would have bothered
you slept with you slept in the toy room, right? And they were all over you.
They were all and not one fell, and there wasn't one stand.
You weren't worried about small soldiers happening?
I was more worried about Aaron
Yeah.
smashing my ankles with a fucking sledgehammer.
Yeah. Kathy
Dr.
Bates
Gunn
style.
says Punk needs to give us a video tour of his palatial estate. I might do that.
Mhm.
I might do that when I do the streamathon for 36 hours to do.
Yeah, you need something, right?
Yeah, well, I can't sit here for 36 hours. I gotta move around. I still gotta start figuring how I'm gonna.
You'll get ass sores.
Yeah, but I have to clean everything up. You know.
Mm-hmm.
What? Well, it's a disaster behind me right now, but you don't see the disaster. That's
me too. You can't see. I just took down all those troops. I'm looking at two piles of 200 figures. Just
every collector. That's like, oh my god, everything looks nice, and you're like, oh, you don't see.
Yeah.
It's the magic of the camera. Yep. All right. And right back there, it's a mess because I just did a video. I just did 2 reviews yesterday, and it's O-ring shit. So of course I'm bringing up O-ring stuff. So my aircraft carrier is just a disaster right now. It is. I mean, and then I'm just like, oh, I got to dust in here. But like once it starts coming down, and then you're like, because I got the classified shit that's all torn apart. I'm like, I got to get this back together.
Mm-hmm.
But like as soon as I get it done, it's like, oh hey, look, these figures are coming. I got to pull these ones off to use them in my review.
Yeah, I got to repose all these figures because I always have my figures in a different pose each one. So I put them for the video. I put them all at attention, so they're all in the same pose right now. So I got to repose every single one of these people.
And it takes a long time.
Yes. Yeah, I'm in no rush.
Mr. Mad Guy says, my wife and kids can care less about my collection. I made the mistake of showing them some of the worth of some of my rare stuff, and I heard the gear start turning into little ass. So when I would get stuff, my daughter would just kind of look at me, and then I started going, hey, you get all the female figures. There's not that many. I'm like, well, I'm just saying you get all of them. So you guys can figure out, And then I told them, hey, when I die, you do whatever you want with this. Just don't get ripped off. That's all I ask. It means something to me. So if it doesn't mean anything to you, don't worry about it. Just get rid of it. Just do not get ripped off. That's all that matters. And my son's like, no, I won't. I'm like, my son hates me, dude. So he'll probably be the first one to sell his shit. He's 18, so he's at that, at that age. I know everything. You don't know shit.
Yeah, I was an 18-year-old boy.
Exactly. Exactly. My daughter's the exact opposite. She just looks and goes, what is his problem?
That's my oldest.
And she's 15. So you said 22 and what, 12?
Yes. No, 11. Sorry. 11. She just turned 11.
Is there a reason why there was such a big gap?
Yes. Like I said, we got pregnant right away because my wife was horny.
That's right, because you've already had sex before.
Yes. So there's a big gap because of my wife. So we have my daughter.
I love how you turned it on her. We had a lot of sex when my wife was horny.
Hey, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I don't blame you.
But so there's a big gap because that was when my wife was going to school for her PhD.
Okay, so
we got kind of, she was already planning on it, and then that happened. When I met her, she was in college, just starting, to become a psychologist, and so, but she had to kind of put that on hold for a little bit because we had that little bundle of joy, and then we always lived around her parents. My family's all moved away by this point. I forgot to mention that my mother retired to North Carolina. My sister moved to South Carolina. My aunt moved to California. So I'm like the last one left here. So her family has really been a support system for us during that whole time because I'm working still.
Mython says, I had nothing to do with that peach you mentioned earlier.
Maybe.
You're not gonna get in-depth talk like this anywhere else, people.
No.
Most of you probably don't want it. You're probably like, what the fuck is wrong with this person?
Yeah.
So you have your first daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So your wife goes to school.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did she graduate and does she have a career?
Yeah. Yeah. She's my wife is a psychologist. She has a PhD, PHSY something, or I don't know, something like that.
Something I don't have. That's
Yeah, I don't have it. She worked 10 years for that thing, so
she knows how to work.
that's why there's a gap in there. That's what that gap is.
Okay. When when your second daughter came along, how did your first daughter handle it?
She was cool because she was just like, now she has a real living doll. So she was helpful and everything. Like I said, daughter, my oldest is like me, nice and chill. My wife is a little not high strung, but she's always anxious. You know, I have anxiety, but she's really anxious. So my youngest is kind of like her, and my oldest is like me. So she kind of accepted the situation and helped out. Always wanted to help and stuff like that.
Okay. So, because I know like my oldest, who's my ex's daughter, she's 9 years older than our son. And it was all good at first, but then
jealousy,
yeah, there's a lot of jealousy from my son in many ways. But he clashed with everyone. So then our daughter came along. She's 2.5 years younger. Like her and Emily never fought. So Olivia and Emily never did. But Andrew, now again, he's 18, was 17 obviously, and he has this revisionist history of how like he fights with me and his mom and his younger sister. He's like, I get along with Emily perfectly fine. And we're like, bullshit. Oh yeah. I'm like, you guys don't live in the same house. And then like we'd say something and Emily would be like, did he forget that the last day we lived together I slapped him? Like, yeah, I think he did.
The last day.
the day before she moved out, slapped him.
Yeah, he must have blanked all that out.
Yeah.
Like something you wouldn't forget.
All right, so you have your second kid.
Yeah, in 2013.
2013. And are you in a bigger home now? Are you starting to show your G.I. Joe stuff off, or?
Yeah, we had 2 homes before that. We always kind of just, upgraded. Like I said, I've had a good journey, so I work hard. I make good money. She obviously is making good money now and stuff. So we're in our forever home. We built this house, and we're not going anywhere.
All right. So your second daughter, when did she start having that? When did you realize that she got that twinkle in her eye when, oh my God, I can go toy shopping with my dad?
From a young age. I always remember her following me around and wanting to go with me to the store and stuff like that, to Walmart, to Target, and I would always get her something. But like she was into Bratz, so I would always get her Bratz dolls and stuff. So that would be my excuse for me to buy something, and she'd come home with a Bratz doll and don't tell mom and go right down, put it in the bin. This G.I. Joe room is only about 4 years old.
Okay.
Up to this point, nothing is displayed. I'm just buying it and keeping it in closets and bins, and knowing one day I'm gonna have what I want.
All right. So, and I'll tell you what, like those are the little things that you will remember and she will remember. Because like my daughter and I, we used to like if I say, hey, let's go to Target, whatever. She'll unless if she's not up, she'll usually go. But when Andrew was in high school and she was still in middle school, there was like a 45-minute break from when I dropped him off to when I could drop her off. And they're on the same property. Walmart was like a half mile away. So we'd go to Walmart. And there was nothing ever there, but we would just go there.
Yeah.
And then one day after going to Walmart and we go to the toys, we walked over to the collectibles. That's when they had those. They'd always have one of the video game cabinets up, and they had Pac-Man, and she started
Mhm.
playing one game, and then one day she hit 2-player, so we would out. She'd always play. We'd always play one game because we had more than enough time. Because we still got back to her school, and we were waiting like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
I think she beat me like one time.
That always puts a smile on my face. Even now, like you go into a store and you see a kid playing the little game, because that was me, because I never had the game, so you had to go play it
Yeah.
at Ames, at Zayres, at Caldor. You had to go play there because you couldn't afford the system. There was
Yeah,
always
so
a little line, kids gathered around watching the other kids play, hoping they die so you could jump in.
So she'd always play, and they're not going to be forever. And I will never forget. She comes around the corner and she's like, "It's gone!" And if you guys have watched the show enough, you've seen my daughter come in. She has no filter, all right? Till this day, she will bitch about that Pac-Man is gone.
Did you get her one?
No, it was like $300. She wasn't gonna play it. I did think about it, but it would have been like $350 with like the cabinet. I don't make that much money. I mean, you guys think I have all this money from YouTube? I don't. You guys would be like, why does this guy keep doing Pac-Man videos on his YouTube channel? Because I gotta fucking pay for it, right? I've been putting out a Pac-Man video every day.
Now they got them at Ollie's.
Yeah. All right, so you collected a Real American Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I am correct, I think you've mentioned that you sold all that stuff.
Yes, I sold about 95% of it. I just kept what I remember having as a child, like actually remember having. So I kept about 6 vehicles, and 55 figures or something, I think it is.
A Pac-Man with no
A Pac-Man who financed.
All right, so because I remember I made a comment about, when I have an extra $1,000, I'll get a Defiant. And you're like, I just sold one.
Yeah.
For $3,000. And I was like, all right, when I have an extra $3,000.
$2,300 I sold my Defiant for.
Okay, that's still more than I have.
That was more than the flag, which I didn't think was the thing, but I guess it is. People want the Defiant more.
I feel like there's less Defiance than flags. I feel like
mine
the flag
was complete too. Like I said, all my shit was pristine. I'm that kind of collector. I would buy parts if it was missing a part. I would buy a part off eBay and just everything. And then a lot of people are into like, oh, leave it as it is. I cleaned it to 100%. I wanted it, and then I put repro labels on all my stuff too.
Okay.
Like I wanted it clean, like it just came out of the box.
I feel like more people kept the flag than the Defiant. Because I mean, to me, the Defiant is the holy grail for me, because I never had one. But the flag, I think, because it's so big and everyone knows that it's like this big giant thing, that people kept it. So I think people kept it, especially the flag decks are so big.
Well, them Defiants probably broke. They're fragile.
Yeah. But I think people saw that and it's like, oh, that's big, but it's not really that big. It's not that big of a deal, which in actuality, I think it seems to be more rare and costs more than the flag. It also has a lot more working parts than the flag.
The
flag
I just built the whole thing and everything. It was like pristine.
Yeah, the
all
flag,
original parts.
Yeah, it has a superstructure, and then it has the flight deck, and then
nothing, a tower, barely.
Exactly. And as much as I love it, I mean, I wouldn't trade it because, again, it's my childhood one. I don't know if you guys knew that. I have a whole story about it. I'll tell you guys one day.
But anyway.
Mython says, I have a sealed flag. One day I'll open it.
What? I hope he's kidding.
So bad.
I saw one on eBay. I'll go on eBay every now and then and just type in like G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, but then I'll do the filter for the most expensive and I see what people are asking for this stuff. Somebody had a sealed flag asking $15K for.
The only sealed flag I want to see is to find the picture of mine the day I got it.
Oh,
Which
nice.
my dad has it somewhere, but he has no
Is that
idea
a Christmas present or birthday?
Oh yeah,
You
did
just
you hear
got
this?
it.
You never heard the
No,
story?
I've heard the story, but I don't remember if it was Christmas or you just got it.
It was on Christmas.
Okay.
No,
With the 8 shipwrecks.
Nope, it's on my Instagram. It's sealed. It's a sealed flag. Holy shit, dude!
Wow.
I don't think I could take it. But then you don't want to open it. You know?
See, I would open it because the box is probably has seen better days. Those boxes got beat for some reason.
He wants to know if someone wants to buy it for $15.
Well, it's still there. I don't think he's gonna get it White Time because it's still there. It's been there for like a year. It just stays listed.
One day someone's gonna want it, and his dad's gonna be like, "Yes."
Yep, that's why he leaves it there. I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I got it on Christmas, but my birthday is only 4 days after Christmas. So,
yeah. So you had the double whammy, or did you get two separate?
Always two separate. My dad refused.
Wow.
My dad refused to make it one thing. He said that's not fair to you. So much so that one year I got a Burton snowboard for Christmas, and I got Burton boots for my birthday, and we went snowboarding on the 27th. My birthday's on the 29th. That's how much I remember this. He refused to give me the boots, even though I knew I was getting them, because they all went together. He refused to get it because he's like, that's your birthday gift. I'm like, I don't care. These old boots, I mean, we're getting rid of these boots for a reason. He refused. So I had to go snowboarding in these old
one more time in the old boots. Yep.
And they weren't even snowboarding boots. That's the worst thing. They were just snow boots that were the big Sorel boots. So that's how much my dad separated it. That he wouldn't let me have fucking boots that we all bought at the same time when I picked them all out.
Yeah.
I was like, just as one time. No. And I think I was like 16 or 17 at the time. So it wasn't even like being a little kid. You know? Like I knew exactly
what it's not even, you already know what's coming. Just give them to me at this point.
Yeah, so I was like, I was never one of those people that, you know, where it's like, oh, well, it's so close. We're just going to do it all the same. You know, he would, if someone tried doing that at Christmas, he was like, it's not his birthday. We don't give him birthday gifts right now. You can come by and, you know, you can come to the birthday party. He always separated it. So, me, I would have combined it with my kids. Like, fuck you guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
My kids are lucky that none of their birthdays are in the same month, and we would have just combined it all. No, actually, you know, my ex, she kind of did that for his graduation because his graduation was actually on his birthday. And I'm like, did you get him anything for his birthday? And she's like, we're throwing him the graduation parties are expensive enough. I'm like, no. I'm like, no. He's getting something for his birthday.
Yeah, I've noticed that with daughters too. These parties are like ridiculous. The money you got to spend on a fucking party nowadays. Before you just got a cake from friggin' Carvel and invited some friends over.
Yeah,
and it's like I need friggin' people that spit fire. I need.
Oh yeah, my ex is already. You know, for Olivia's 16th birthday next year,
16th, the 16th.
Doing this,
I
I'm like,
for my oldest.
Well, I don't know where you're getting the money because I don't get the money.
We had a fire spitter at my oldest 16th because that's a thing now, like the sweet 16. Oh my!
You had a fire spitter?
We had to rent a place and one of them people that sucked alcohol.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm blown away by it.
That sweet 16 party. That's like the pinnacle of a teenage girl's life, I guess.
I guess, but not.
We had a DJ. Much. We had to rent a hall. It was an expensive party, I would say.
A graduation party, I understand. I guess I understand the 16. Again, to me, it's no big deal. I mean, it's
By then, it's funny. Her graduation party, she didn't even want one. She invited like 5 friends over. They came in the basement and watched movies and listened to songs. So she was like different back then. She kind of was growing into herself.
Allison Troy has joined, and so has Tony's Figs. So Tony's Figs, good job picking a Thursday to do your Terradrome, Tony. Good job. I thought we were fucking friends. Don't come in here and say "What up, fam?" while you're doing a show against me.
What up, fam?
Fucking crock of shit that is. And you took three of the people that normally watch. You, Gun Bunny, I saw it earlier, and KJ. No, KJ usually does Thursday show every other Thursday, so it's all good. You can watch everything on the
Yeah.
If anyone here is new and they're like, dude, what a dick, it's all good. It's all good. As long as you watch me live and then you watch everyone else on the replay. It's hard to do YouTube and like not think you're gonna step on someone's toes.
Yeah.
If you're doing live streams, I tell everyone, I go, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I go, if you want to do lives and Monday at 9 p.m., if that is the time that works for you, then you make it work, man. Like you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my job, doing live streams is never to make you not watch someone else's channel. It is to make you want to watch my channel. And if that means you want to watch mine live, or hey, you know what? You want to watch Toy Gains and Yojo Jerk on Monday and then come over to mine, then so be it. It's not going away. It's not like when we were kids where it's like you had to have the VCR and you hope that it taped properly. And if you missed it, you were never going to see that episode again, at least for like a year, maybe in reruns,
You had to wait for syndication to see that episode back then.
Exactly. Or during the summer.
I remember just in Living Color Sundays, like a half hour before, you just found your spot and everything because you didn't want to miss a Living Color.
Johnny Reno says, I have a sealed Terradrome shark. I believe that because Johnny,
I still have my Terradrome. I haven't sold that one yet. It's all in pieces right there. It's 100% complete. If anybody needs a Terradrome, hit me up. It's complete. It's just in a bunch of pieces.
I need parts for them.
No broken tabs either.
See that? I have some broken tabs on mine, but mine's my original. So it's like,
yeah, this ain't my original. I didn't even have one.
And Mython, you're right. Replay squad is important. It really is. And I've talked about it before. Like my Monday show is structured so people can just watch it on Tuesday or Thursday. Not again, people tune in to hear me ramble on and pull up chats, right? So I know people will just turn it on and they're like, hey, I watch it on the replay. I'm thinking, man, you must hate yourself. But all right. So you get rid of is there a reason why you got rid of the O-rings? Was it because of classified?
Yeah, it was just straight classified, man. When I saw I was in since the beginning, the 00, and I saw that, and I finally got that in my hand. I was like, this is like 3.75s, but I can do so much with it, and it's on a bigger scale. And then at that point, I just decided I'm selling all this shit and going to fund the classified collection because I figured they would be around for a while because I noticed they really started making not everybody, but I was like, they're going to make everybody in this line. So, and they did. They're doing it.
I would have never imagined I would never imagine it would do as good as what it's doing.
See, I knew it would when I saw the first couple figures, but then the figure that really sold me was back to back. It was the Bat and the Alley Viper. I was like, this line's not going anywhere.
Well, yeah, at that point, I mean, I just would have never thought that any line would be doing this. It's way smaller than Black Series and Marvel Legends. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
it is, but it is the hottest adult collectible toy right now.
Yeah,
and I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear the Valaverse shit. The Valaverse is not even close. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but it's not close to classified. Mythic Legion is not close to classified. AWOC is not. Marvel there are
they're bigger. They're bigger.
Yeah, there are bigger. But there's none hotter.
Are bigger. Yeah.
With that said, I fully do believe they're in the same building that for 2 years, Marvel Legends walked by and they just watched that line get better and better, and they finally said, we need to step it up because the Marvel Legends this past year has fucking rocked. They have just kicked ass to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I want to start buying some of this shit, even though I'm not a Marvel Legends collector. I obviously have some stuff, but
I just buy what's cool. That's my style now. Ever since before, like I said, for 25 years, I was ARAH and nothing else. And now I just buy whatever I think is cool at this point, as long as it's 1/12.
It's just such a slippery slope to go down.
Yeah.
Because now I'm not a mythical person, or fantasy. So wanting to get Mythic Legions in my hand just to know I'm reviewing stuff, right? So I should know what I'm doing, right? I should get other lines. I didn't feel that need to get a whole bunch. Though I did understand why people like I said, right now, if you told me G.I. Joe went away, if they say if G.I. Joe went away, are you still going to collect? I'd be like, I'd probably be all in on like fantasy stuff, just because it's something different and Mythic Legions would probably be one of them, because everything that they do is really top notch. But
I don't do Mythic Legions. I do that figure Obscura though. I have all of those so far.
It's nice because that allows people to get 4 Horsemen stuff, but not jump in on everything else. Let's say hi to Black Genghis, Model Misfit, and Coco Smooth, the casual collector. You can do it. You want to do in living color. Well, have you been here from the beginning? Because we already talked about
wrestler Coco Beware when I was a kid.
God, how I can't believe you said that. It's funny because we were talking about in living color at the beginning of the show. And
Coco sound like Vera.
Yes. No, not that you sound. If your sister sounded like you.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Vera DeMilo. Hi guys. When he would fall back.
Yeah.
Coco Smooth, I gotta say really quickly, I could sense and feel your frustration when you were doing your Vanguard review. And I was yelling at the phone going, you need to take the piece off for the back machine gun. And I know you figured it out because you came back and you figured it out. Bobby B was having the same problem when I watched his, because he got it before I got the one I reviewed. So even when he did, I'm like, I think you just take that piece off and it pops on. But he was Coco Smooth was like he was struggling with some things, and I'm like, I understand. I have started to watch some people's stuff. I try not to watch reviews because you kind of want to have that firsthand. I had someone tell me you can't call yourself a reviewer if you watch other people's first. I was like, that's not true, because you don't think like people that review cars like watch other reviewers of the car. It doesn't change it just makes you go, oh, I didn't notice that. You know, you're not reviewing stuff to be like shocked. Like, oh my God, I didn't realize this meat went like that. So, but anyway, totally forgot what we were talking about. Oh yeah, classified. So you get into class again. Like I said, I think it is the premier adult collectible action figure right now. And if you like something more, that is perfectly fine. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying nothing else. Marvel Legends right now is really coming
Everybody
back.
can like what they like. I have no problem with that at all.
And again, anyone that thinks the classified or says G.I. Joe is bigger than Black Series or bigger than Marvel Legends, you're lying to yourself, because it's not even close. Because those properties are just huge to begin with. Again, we're not talking
even
about
with all the trouble they're in, they're still bigger.
Yeah, and you're not talking about the 80s with a Real American Hero, but they are going to do. I mean, I didn't think that it was going to do what it did. again, I never thought vehicles would be a thing like they are. I'm so scared of what's going to come because I don't have a lot of space, right? And they cost money. That's another thing that they are expensive. I did that whole video to say, hey, dude, I was wrong. I was wrong. And someone's like, you might be, it's like you might end up being right. I was like, well, then I'll just do another video. Just keep creating content. I was right, but I said I was wrong. But look, it's just another clickbait for people. Oh, hey, what was he right and wrong about?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Black Daniel says, getting a Skyhawk and a Fang, and then I'll make space. Yeah, I got the Robo Skull coming too. Don't want to forget about that. That was ordered before because I would not have ordered that. If I would have known everything that was coming,
that's been out for a while, right?
Well, it was the Kickstarter one.
Yeah.
So if I would have known everything that we were getting, I would not have ordered that. But I'll tell you this: if I wouldn't have ordered it and I would have saw it at Joe Fest, I would have regretted not ordering it because it looks awesome. It looks absolutely amazing. I love that thing. All right. So anyway, when did you decide? So you decided to get rid of the Joe. Like, how hard was it to get rid of your Joes? Because I just decided. I just decided to get rid of my Origins figures.
Yep. And like childhood or the retro?
No. The ones that I started collecting during COVID.
Okay.
So yeah. I put it out there. Nobody, like Oz wanted like 5 figures, so here's how much they are. And then I had someone else hit me up and go, how much do you want for all of them? I'll take them.
All of it, yeah.
I'm like, well, we haven't even discussed anything. He's like, well, figure out how much it is. I'm like, that's better for me. Here's how I'm going to figure it out. I'll spend the time and itemize everything for you, especially if you're going to pay me that much.
Yeah.
Because it's easier than breaking it all up. If someone's going to pay me one lump sum, where for what I was hoping to get breaking it all up, let's do this.
Yeah, I was the opposite. I sold mine piece by piece on eBay. And I wanted to maximize. It took me like a year and a half, but I sold it all. I'd list like 20 things a week and all auctions.
Well, that's what I did with my comic books. Because I had asked someone, I said, hey, I have all these comics. What do you think I should do? And he said, do you need the money? And I said, I don't need the money. And he said, then you should itemize it and sell it on eBay. And I'm so glad I did because I had 2 155 G.I. Joes. They both sold for one sold for like $230 something. The other one sold for like $220.
Yep.
And all those G.I. Joes, the last 20 sold for huge amounts of money. And I would have just sold it as a box, and they would have said, hey, we'll give you $50, $100 for a box or whatever. Because they don't know what's in it.
Yeah, I heard down south talking about that. The last 20 are like valuable.
Oh, dude, it's worth so much money. And the funniest thing about it is,
you would think it'd be the early ones, but it's not with G.I. Joe. That's what's crazy.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, the ones that I would not have gotten rid of were the earlier ones because those were the ones that I really read. But those ones were all beat up anyway because they never had bags. They were I bought them at 7-Eleven, and then you read them, and they got beat up and everything. So those weren't even worth any money to begin with. But I wouldn't have gotten rid of those anyway, just because those were the ones that I remember, and I remember those stories. So, King Abe says Chris from the Full Force said he's going to interview Lenny and Tony sometime in the next couple weeks. Yeah, he
always has them on.
Yeah, I love the Full Force. He's always going to be the one that is going to get that. So it's King Abe. I don't know if you're new, but if you want the G.I. Joe news, you go to the Full Force because he's the one who gets all the leads. And Gun Bunny Customs has jumped in. I wonder why Gun Bunny, Tony's Figs, and KJ just happen to show up now. Family my ass. I'm going to have Gun Bunny on soon, too. as long as he's not too busy being on with KJ and Tony. This is what you call passive aggressive. I learned this from Travis Moody.
Oh, my wife's great at that.
My son will be like, he's like, that's very passive aggressive, Dad. I'm like, I'm not passive aggressive. I'm telling you what fucking pisses me off. Like, that's not passive aggressive. That's just pure aggressive.
Yeah. If I blatantly tell you, that's
like,
not passive.
The passive aggressive doesn't really work. I'm like, I'm not being passive about it.
Just aggressive.
Flat out telling you, like, this is what. Oh, Black Genghis says Thursday Night War. Hey, you know what? Hey, I've already got the Monday Night War going on with Toy Games and Yojo Jerk. They don't know it yet, but that's a whole different story. It's like I have a Dodge Journey. So when you pull up to a stop sign or a light, and the light turns green, and you go and you blow that Corvette away, you beat the Corvette in the race. The Corvette doesn't know they're racing you, but I don't care. A win is a win, right? I mean, the Corvette might have been turning right or left too, but that's one of the stories.
Yeah, I still won.
I won, all right? In my mind,
my
championship belt, and I'm walking around going, I have a Dodge Journey, and I beat a Corvette. And they're going, really? I'm like, yeah. I didn't know we were racing.
What's a Dodge Journey, like a sports car?
No, it's a four-door station wagon.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I don't know anything about cars. I'm not a car guy at all.
It's an SUV per se.
Okay.
It's a smaller SVU.
SVU.
SUV. Stupid TV show. No, I'm quitting. Punk is truly the Vince McMahon of the G.I. Joe community. I don't think I want that anymore. All right. A few years ago, maybe. No, listen, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't shit on anyone. I mean, I may shit on people, but not for real.
Literally.
All right. I shit in a toilet.
As
not in a girl's head during a threesome.
As you should. These rich people do such weird stuff. It always blows my mind. They're like, they're so rich. They're like, what can I do to somebody? What can I poop on somebody? Do I have that much money?
Not only that, can I do it during sex and during a threesome? And then make the guy still continue to have sex with her while I go take a shower. Like, sorry guys, I don't know how we got on this.
Yeah, there's. Oh man.
And if you're into that, that's cool. As long as that's something you're into. You just don't want to do it to someone when they're, when it's unwarranted. Pop Blender has jumped in, just got out of work, had to drop by and show my support for Triple Deuce. Love the feller. I remember when people used to support me.
Pop?
People used to support me, but now they support like the guests that I have. Hey Punk, hey Woody, yo chat. James Lucas, who is actually in my state, believe it or not. All right.
Nice.
So we are so off topic because, well, that's life. You turned in here. All right. If you're tuning in right now and going, this guy's all over the place. Like, have you never seen one of my 1,000 videos that I put out?
We were doing good. We were.
We were at points. Okay, so classified. You sell off your stuff. Like I said, I'm getting rid of this Origins. As a matter of fact, when I finally said I'm going to do this, and I asked Oz first. I'm like, is there anything that you need? I sent him a video. And one of the ones that he said he needed was Triclops. I'm like, thank you. Because if someone would have pointed out other figures and never said Triclops and Trap Jaw, like the big ones, it would have been harder to get rid of it. But the moment he said like one of the main villains, I was like, okay, now I don't feel bad. Like, okay, well now I get rid of Trap Jaw. But if it would have been like, oh, I need all these, and you're looking at them going, well, I'm not sure yet. Now it's just like, here you go. Although I was going through, and there were a few that I put to the side, like, because I told them I'm not going to sell all of them. There's some that I'm not going to sell.
Yeah, that's what.
And I realized
a little bit.
Yeah, I have a thing for He-Man repaints. As I'm like pulling, I'm like, I really like Fakor, and I really like anti-He-Man. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, so yeah. But I'm gonna be giving him so that's what I was wondering, like, how difficult was it?
It was difficult, but like I said, I fell in love with classified. I just pictured 3.75 in a 6-inch scale, and there was so much. I've always been into like posing and setting up scenes and shit like that, so I was
Yeah,
blown away.
as awesome as the world building is for O-Ring,
Yeah,
it is not the same posing. You
no,
cannot get poses.
the wrist swivel, the ankle swivel. I mean, that changed the game for me.
Yeah, hold on 1 second in here.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Nice.
Aaron the Toy Hanser with a $9.99 super chat from the Dallas Cowboys themselves. A little love for Punk with Toys. This job must be paying you well, and I say thank you very much, Aaron.
Well, any job you travel for, you know you're getting paid well, because you wouldn't travel unless it was getting paid well.
But remember, it's his company. It's his business. So he has to pay well to anyone that is going with him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But again, I would
travel
assume
for work, but they pay for everything when I travel.
Yeah. But I would assume that, if you're taking a job out of your state, that you're going to hopefully make it worth your while and everyone that you're that you're with. All right. So classified, you love classified.
Mm-hmm.
You're army building like crazy.
Yeah, you could say that.
Now explain where this army building comes from. Was this?
It's just, this is shit I saw in my head when I was a kid, and now I can finally do it for myself. And it was ARH, Army built too. I would have, I had like 10 Night Vipers all complete, 10 Crimson Guard, more. Not on this scale, because the figures were more expensive. A Crimson Guard complete was $30. This I can get a classified for 24. So
yep,
it's not as, it was more expensive. So my number for ARH was 10. That was my army builds for them, and this is just whatever I want. Like I've got 66 Iron Grenadiers on the way when they get dropped.
I heard you say that, and I did not see 66 get bought from my Amazon account. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
No, I'm.
I couldn't get that much. There was a limit on Amazon. You could only buy 6.
Is it? I don't even know.
Yeah, I bought a 6 on DVTS.
Don't worry.
Has no limit. Sorry.
Don't worry. There was a lot that I had bought.
Yeah.
Well, a lot that people had bought. Like I said, I can see what those were like. Those would be a good few months for me. I'll just say that. Mython says Joy Toy is changing the game with 118th and articulation. There's others out there, but Joy Toy is coming in hot. I have not had good luck with Joy Toy.
I just saw those Rocksteady and Bebop. They look pretty good. I guess they got turtles. Everybody got turtles. Everybody gets a turtle.
I've been saying that every single you start a toy company and you I think you just get sent a turtles license.
But they look pretty good. I saw them today.
Yeah, because they're doing 1/18 scale turtles. I didn't realize I saw them, but I didn't realize that they were Joy Toy. I haven't had good luck with them. I bought 3 army builders, 2 of them.
Yeah, I saw your reviews on them. Yeah, I remember.
And this bothered me because people were like, "Well, you can't buy the army builders. You have to buy the named figures." I'm like, that's bullshit. Because the army builders should be built with the same quality. They might not have the same detail, but they should still have the same quality. And one of the army builders, Mr. Wonderful had, he said he has the exact same problem. He loves these things. Now, Wraith Mace did send me a Joy Toy 1/18 scale Warhammer, and it was night and day. I mean, it was definitely night and day, man. It was a really good figure.
Oh yeah, some of that stuff I see Wraith have is like amazing to me. I would never get into it, but the detail and all that kind of stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
Same thing with like you saying the Mythic Legions and stuff. The detail is like top notch on all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes it's nice to just live vicariously through other people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
you
you
don't
can't
go
collect
down that
everything.
road. Oh man, I wish. Like again, AWOC, that was another one. Like I tell everyone, like if you're a toy collector, you need to have an AWOC figure, just so you can. Like
I got one. Yeah, I bought the lion because I'm doing like a lion shelf because I'm a Leo, so I collect all different little lion figures.
okay,
So I bought the lion guy.
but you don't have. He's not out yet, is he?
Yeah.
The big one, the 12 is there?
No,
Not
this
12
is
inch, the 6 inch.
6 inch. Yeah. Yeah, he's got like blue armor on. He's been out. Maybe I think there's a new one coming out of the same character, but I got the first release of it.
Okay, but like those figures are, and I mean that was the first wave of figures. I know they had some 1/18 figures, but this is their first one. Such a good figure.
Yeah.
Like, if you gave this to your kid, I keep telling them, when you give this to your kid, like it's not going to break. If they're not coming back in 5 minutes, I think it classified. I'm sorry. You give it to a 6-year-old, they're coming back with a fucking leg off.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of how the plastic is eventually.
I've done it trying to pose people. I've pulled legs. Some of them pop right off.
Yep.
It's weird how it's like one figure, the same figure, but just every figure is different. It varies. I've noticed.
Mython says, I got a bunch of army builders, 0 issues with mine, the World War II soldiers, the modern frogmen, the sci-fi mechanics, great figures with good posing, and look great with my Joe vehicles. And again, I gave them a second chance, and I had the same problem with another figure. I couldn't get the hands off. So, I mean, I've heard what everyone has said, but it was like, I gave you 2 chances. I'm not saying I wouldn't again. Because if I could get the G.I. Joe stuff, I probably. I mean,
are they O-ring? Are they O-ring?
No, they're like
okay.
modern. They're modern, like the modern.
Like the 25th. Okay.
Yeah, but they're chunkier.
And
again, they look nice and all. I was just very disappointed because you can get them in some pretty good posing. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I collected those, but I opened one and the legs were too skinny. You couldn't pose them without the stand, and I didn't. That's why I never opened them. They had some skinny ass legs, man.
Yeah.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money
Nice.
talk.
Here comes the money.
King 8499 super chat. Thank you. Will your guys be picking up the Hiya Toys exquisite G.I. Joe 4-inch action figures? I have them all pre-ordered. As much as I want to, it's
yeah. I can't.
they're expensive, and they've only given 2 figures so far.
Those are the ones you can't buy on like an American website, right?
Yeah. Well, you can smalljoes.com has it.
Okay.
There's a few places.
Very few though.
Yeah, they're like $25 or $30. So they're not crazy, but Small Joe's is a respectable site. But again, when are they coming out? The Full Force talked about it, and they just showed off a new Cobra Commander. And it's like,
not one of those figures is out yet? All those figures they showed, the highest?
Only Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that was a while ago, and I really wish I would have kept the order that I ordered because they're worth like $150, $200 now. They're crazy. And JLS Comic, what's up, everyone? You want to learn about Marvel and G.I. Joe, man, go to this guy's YouTube channel because he does a wonderful down. And the other thing is actually his voice. He doesn't use that computer AI. You know, after a while, you go into YouTube and you're like, God, this guy does a lot of voiceovers. And you're like, oh, that's just a computer. You ever notice that? Like, there's different sites, like, it'll have the same voice. And then
I've heard of it. I've never noticed it because nobody I watch is doing AI. I'm watching regular.
Yeah, if you go down like the rabbit hole, you'll start noticing like
no.
Yeah,
no if it's a rabbit hole, I'll go down like and watch 3 hours of your videos or 3 hours of DS's or something like. I don't go down like deep holes. People I know. I'll go watch that stuff.
Everyone go on a deep dive when you have a second.
I've gone back and saw your first video.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. You were skateboarding. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that one. Okay, the skateboarding.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the reviews.
No, I haven't made it that far yet. Like I said, I'll go watch it in chunks when I watch stuff.
If anyone does go back and watch them, you'll notice that like there's no music because I've started to delete the music on those because they weren't monetized, and I'm like, I might as well get some money for it if people do watch it. But you'll have like 30 seconds of silence. It's because that's the only way I can get like it monetized.
I thought you were gonna say you didn't know how, like me.
No. If you watch them, like I didn't know how to cut it.
I just figured that out a couple of weeks ago, how to put some music on in there.
Yeah,
in the videos and shit.
Like the first videos that I review, you'll see like the video start, it's pointing at my bar, and then you'll see me walk in. Because I didn't realize you could just cut it and then upload it that way. So you like see me walk in.
I use the same programs you use and everything. I'm starting to kind of get the hang of them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I finally did a thing where like I timed it perfectly. This last video I did, I was talking about Savage Lamp or something. I said, check out his channel, and I went bing, and then I got it perfect where there's a picture there, and I'm so proud of myself for that. People go watch that and just watch how proud of in my face you see when I go bing and there's a picture. It was like my mind was blown. I feel like I could direct a Marvel movie now or something.
Dude, that's exactly how you like. You figure something out, and you're like, oh my god, I can do anything. And then you spend 2 hours trying to figure out the second thing. And you're like, fuck this shit.
Yep. Yeah.
I can do the other one. All right. I'm gonna bide my time till I accidentally learn something else.
People want to always message me and say, hey, we want to see you setting up the scenes and shit, because I just show it already all set up, because I don't think of YouTube first. I just think of, so I'm trying to figure out now how to do like the time lapse. Like I just keep filming and then I can speed it up so it's short. Because people always say, I want to see you set the stuff up, and I just don't know how to do it.
I've done that in a couple shorts, and to do it with iMovie, you can only speed it up so much. So you have to like speed it up, and then save it, and then speed that one up, and then. And I know there's other programs that do it, but I'm like, that's too much fucking work.
I don't use anything else.
You guys are getting a 35-minute
iMovie and Epic. That's what I use.
You do what?
For my iMovie for the videos, and then Epic for the thumbnails. That's what I do.
Did I tell you to use that?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, that's exactly what I use. I'm like, I know I told people. Like that's like people are like, there's
but
this
it's good
stuff
for the simpleton like me, like the technology simpleton. Those are perfect systems.
Yeah. I'm just like, I learned how to use Epic. It has the fonts that I want. I know what fonts they are. Every now and then they'll change it. If you look at some of my thumbnails, you'll see that the fonts change because they got rid of some of them. But then I finally found one like, okay, they're not getting rid of these. These are the color schemes that I'm using. So that's what you see now. But once I learned how to use
a different one every time. I try to use a different one every time. Some of them you just can't read though, so I don't use those. Yellow
works good on most things.
Yeah.
The color yellow. And Ronnie Trickshot has jumped in from Australia. He's
good day, mate. I know you probably hear that all the time. You don't hear it in this voice, though. Good day, mate.
So I'm going to have Ronnie on, but I'm going to ask you something. Okay, so let me ask you something. Okay, so Ronnie, I found out his name is Aaron. Another Aaron. A-A-R-O-N.
Okay.
So I was talking to Shark Eyes. I'm like, where the fuck does he get the name Ronnie from? And he's like, well, that's short for Aaron. I was like, it is.
Mind blown right there, right? You never heard that.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
And so
but it makes sense. It makes
sense.
That's
what and Adam was like. He goes, maybe it's just like an Australian thing. I'm like, I think it is because I've never known an Aaron. And look, here's an Aaron.
It's Ronald. It's always a Ronald. That's Ronnie or something.
Yes, that's what I told him. So, Aaron, the toy enhancer. Have you ever been called Ron or Ronald or Ronnie because of Aaron? Or I'm just like, I was like, oh my god, it never even like, I never thought to think of that, but it makes sense because it's right there. Because I was like, if his name's Aaron, why does he go by Ronnie? He's like, that's just short for it. I'm like, no, it's not. Aaron doesn't have anything short for it other than AA Ron, and that's because of his stupid skit.
Yeah, Key and Peele.
And then when you said Ron, Aaron, I'm like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. But yeah, so all right. So as we start to wrap it up, it's been over 3 hours. I can't believe it.
Time's flying.
Is there anything that you're looking to do with your YouTube channel?
No, because people ain't gonna like this, but no, I just want to do what I want to do, and I've met some good people through this, and I'm glad for that. I'm not doing it for these reasons that most people do it for. I'm just doing it to document and go back. Maybe my grandkids or something can watch it and say, "There's Pop on the camera. He collected toys, and here he is," basically.
Model Misfit says, "Oh God, the AA Ron stuff gets old. It gets old for you. It's never gonna get old. I'm sorry. Like it's never gonna get old because that skit is so fucking good.
Yeah, that skit is one of their best skits ever.
But you know what's funny? No one calls Denise D-Nice.
That and the football team names. That's one of their funniest shits too. The football names.
Yeah. Well, then they have the commercial where they say AA Ron for the I forget what it is. The football player.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
No, not Aaron Rodgers. Plays for L.A. Can't think of his name, but they say Aaron, and he leans over. And he's like, "Here."
No.
So they like. I'm sorry. I can understand why it's gonna get aggravating. It's so good because we work with an Aaron, and now no one calls him Aaron. Like, I'm sorry. It's not my fault that they made an amazing skit. And that seriously is one of the best skits I've ever seen in my entire life. That whole thing. It's not just the laugh. It's not just the whole skit is so awesome.
Yeah, D-Nice. No, it's Denise. Yeah, all right. Whatever. D-Nice.
O'Shea Hennessy.
O'Shea Hennessy. Yeah.
The best thing about that is he's saying so many other words that he's not enunciating.
Yeah.
It's just certain words like that he enunciates. The other ones he just kind of ignored and everything. But anyway, okay. So you have no like you just want to just put stuff out. Just
Yeah, I had a goal to reach the 420 subs, and I did. That's it. And now I'm just like I'm starting to listen to people. Like I said, I want to learn the fast motion because people want to see me set it up and stuff. But I have no like definite plan set in stone. I just kind of want to do what I want to do, and I don't even own a laptop. I mean, I'm not gonna invest into it like that. I guess I don't want to sound like a jerk like that, like I'm cheating people out of stuff, but it's just something you can't be cheating out of anyone that you're giving stuff to for free. Like, in all honesty, I feel like every Monday I have to give at least 3 hours, and it's like, wait a minute, I'm not getting paid for this. I mean, I'm glad I'm able to entertain people, but it's like if I go 2 hours, no one can be mad at me because it's not like they paid like a pay-per-view and like, wow, we paid 3 hours and you only showed up for 2 hours. So you don't. I mean, and this is what I tell people, and this is what I was telling people, and everyone would say, I don't care about that, and I'm like, it's not about that, and their tunes have changed. Is I go, when you say growing on YouTube, it's not just about growing, but just what you said about like, hey, people said about doing the fast forward, just giving the time lapse.
it's creating better content for the people that are watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, it's nice to learn things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the product of creating better videos for the people that like it is that more people will more than likely like it. I always equate it to, you go to the gym to work out to get stronger. Well, the byproduct of getting stronger is you get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
That's the byproduct of it. If I, and so when I was getting bigger, when I was working out, I was getting stronger. Now, when I wanted to get bigger and be more muscular, if you could have told me, hey, there's a plan that you can bench press 135 and grow, and you can curl 25, but you're still, I'd be like, sign me up. Because I really didn't want to get stronger, because the guy that got me into working out, when he said, he said something like, I wish I was still, working out with 25. So I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I'm like, you're bench pressing with 65 dumbbells. He's like, 65 pounds is 65 pounds. I'm like, but you're stronger. He's like, 65 pounds is 60. As you get bigger and you start putting that weight up, you're like, yeah, you know what? 100 fucking pounds, 100 fucking pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's heavy no matter. I don't care how fucking big you are. It's still heavy. If it comes down, it's going to hurt you. You can survive 25 pounds. Right?
Yeah.
You start getting to 55, 60, 75, like, yeah, man, you're starting to maybe hurt yourself.
Definitely.
And yeah, you don't seem like the type who really, again, and it's a great attitude to have.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm doing this as a hobby. Not to say like I take any away from anybody that's doing anything else. It's just, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do it that way. And if you don't like it, don't watch. That's all I can say. And I don't know how. I don't want to sound like a jerk or nothing, but I'm going to be all right.
Todd C said, damn, you curl 65. No. If it came out that way, no. I've never curled 65s. Most people, if they're curling 65s, they are cheating and not doing it properly. I will say that 100%. When Hulk Hogan used to curl 135s with the dumbbell, or not dumbbells, with the bar. Mm-hmm. Okay, understandable. The dude had fucking huge ass steroid arms.
Yeah.
You ever see someone curl 65 pounds? It is almost in the worst form ever. You're not really doing very much. I'm sure G.I. Bro, he can attest to this. When you see a steroid guy doing it, you go, oh, okay, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just using 65 as like when you're bench pressing 65 pounds, 65 becomes 65 pounds, whether you're big or not. When I got up to like 110s, that's 110 pounds. So I don't care if you're on steroids or not. You're still pushing up 110 pounds.
Yeah, 110 is 110.
Coming down hard. There's no way. And again, these are guys that will also, they can bench 200-pound dumbbells. Mm-hmm. If they're doing 100 pounds, like I said, it's still 100 fucking pounds. It's Aaron says thrust curls.
I get those in.
And you have no other social media other than your YouTube. No intention.
Never. No intention on
doing an Instagram.
No, I don't do pictures. I'm not a picture person. This is all for me, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. People
I will say that,
like, oh, you should share more. I share what I want to share and stuff like that.
I will say this. Instagram, which I didn't understand Instagram when it came out, but this is fucking stupid. Right? This is for creeps that want to check out just girls. With that said, I'm a creep that does check out a lot of girls now.
But I also,
I also follow skateboarding and toys. Yeah. I always say about my Instagram, I go, my Instagram is half naked girls, toys, skateboarding, and a couple people I know in real life.
Yeah.
But Instagram,
I never got into that ever.
No, and again, it's probably the best. I mean, but kind of like what you said about YouTube, like, hey, it's there, so now I always have it. Instagram is kind of the same way, where you have these pictures, and I can go back.
It doesn't delete after 60 seconds or something? Isn't that Instagram?
No, that's Snapfish. No, Snapchat.
Oh, okay. I see.
Snapfish is a program that holds your pictures.
I would have believed you because I don't even know, bro.
Chad Bro says my recipe is arm day every day. Yes, we saw that. We know. The dude has some ripped ass fucking arms.
Nice.
Mython the Python says, so I need to add half naked girls to my post to get Lawrence's engagement.
Noted. Check.
This Instagram, A Punk with Toys, that's the one I'm on mostly. I've tried not to add that many girls. Then I go to my personal one and I'm like, holy shit. And the worst thing about it is anyone can see who I'm following. So if my daughters decided to be like,
what's dad doing?
Yeah. I'm sure my daughters already know that, how I am.
I've had people call me a creep because I don't have social media, which I found strange. They're like, that's creepy that you don't have your life out there for everybody to see. Like, you're a creep. I'm like, okay, teach their own. Good luck with that.
Once again, it explains how messed up we are that we think that, like, you don't have social media, you must be a creep. What?
Yep. That's happened on more than one occasion.
I just looked over. Roman's looking at me like, I don't have social media and I need to go out. Fucking creep. And then he just did a sigh, just went.
Yep. That's awesome that you guys are like friends like that. I like the relationship you and your dog have.
My dog or my daughter?
No, you and your dog. You
okay, I was gonna...
I'm not a dog person. I know many people who are and stuff.
Oh, really?
I hope your dog family. I got attacked when I was a kid, and I've had issues ever since.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't by a pit or a Roddy or nothing. It was a Dotson. Tore my leg to shreds. Tore my hamstring to shreds.
So I'm trying not. It's fine.
No, you can laugh. I don't care. I was going for I made the All-Star team for baseball. My first year, I made the All-Star team. And back then, everybody, one mother brought everybody's kids to the freaking games and shit. And they had so I show up at their house with the white pants, with the yellow shirt on. And this fucking dog just attacked me. My white pants are now red. My hamstring had bite marks all up and down. It kept just biting. So I've had not a fear, but I haven't been a pet person since then.
Wow.
And I was like 9 years old.
Wow. My thought says Pitbull dad for life. Here's the funny thing. Yep. I had always had small dogs. Roman was like, I had no intention of getting a dog. My ex had left. She took the old dog that we had. So when I didn't have my kids, I could go do whatever I wanted. I got done with work. I went skateboarding, right? I didn't have to go home. And he just came up. A friend of mine shared a pic. I'm like, huh? I'm like, hey, well, what's up with that dog? And she was like, nothing. You want it? I'm like, no, I don't. I don't even know why I'm asking. Then I went up. So then I went up to her work because she worked at a restaurant, and I would go up there on Sundays in the morning and have breakfast. And she worked there. And the person that it was the dog, she also worked there, and she was outside and had him. And she's like, hey, the dog's here if you want to see it. I'm like, no, I don't. And I was like, yeah, I do. And I went out there, and
that's it.
I go, can you be here next week? I go, when I have my kids, I can bring him up, and if he's good with them. And it was like, that was it. But I had never had a big dog. I never looked at a pit bull and thought they were cute dogs. And now I look at every single one, and I'm like, oh my God, look at that face. They're the most adorable. And again, I think most of their personalities, when you see them or when you interact with them, you realize exactly how loving they are. And then conversely, you look at a hot dog and you're like, wow, that is an asshole.
It's always the little dogs. They're angry or something.
Yeah, there's ones that yap.
Complexes.
Yeah, there's ones that yap. Like we had a Bichon two mix. They yap, but they're not aggressive and angry.
Mm-hmm.
But you have like these little, Dachshunds, the hot dogs, like they're
Minkins.
aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're and like, what the hell are you gonna do to me? What are you gonna do to me? Or they come up and they're barking at Roman, and I'm like,
he'll swallow you.
I don't go up to the steroid freak at the gym and berate him. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't berate him to get off the hammer strength machine. Get off the fucking hammer strength machine. I need to use it right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, little dogs have no problem.
No, they don't. No,
They'll go bark at anybody.
Yeah, Mython. Pit bulls are extremely loving and protective of their families and friends. Yeah, and you know what? Here's like the worst. Here's what has become as an owner of a pit bull. You find yourself justifying it to people that agree with you. Like that's what Mython's doing right now. He's like, dude, we all know I already have one, right? I used to always tell my ex when she's like we'd be shopping and she'd be like, I want to get this. I was like, okay, go get it. And then she'd continue to tell me why she wants, and I go, I already told you to get it. Like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, I don't fucking care. I told you to get it. Why are you still trying to convince me to get it when I've already said fucking get it? I don't give a shit. All right, we have the money. Something you want or something you think we need. I don't care. But
my mom has pits and stuff. Everybody I know has pit bulls, and they're all loving dogs. It's just I have a little issue with dogs. That's all. It's nothing against.
Well, you have a reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And again, people can say you need to get over it. You don't. There's some things you don't get over. Just like you collected G.I. Joe because it takes you to another place.
Mm-hmm.
That you enjoyed.
That dog was like clamped onto my leg and just tearing. I really got fucked up from that dog. So at 9 years old, it was kind of traumatic a little bit.
Well, before you go to bed every night, you should just look up and go, I outlived you, motherfucker. I'm sure that dog is dead. Just think of it like that. Just say, I outlived you, motherfucker. Curse that dog.
Probably still living, biting people. No. Hey, that was a long time ago. I don't think dogs live for 30 years, do they?
No. You really aren't. You really are away from the internet.
Yeah, I don't. Well, the thing is, I don't pay attention to really anything that I'm not interested in or somebody that I'm interested in. Like, if it's like dogs, I'm just not a dog person. But some of my best friends have dogs. My mother had pit bulls growing up. It's just me personally. I'm not a dog person. My sister loves animals. I've always grown up around animals. Just me, when I went on my own, I'm not an animal person.
No,
my wife is. My wife's a cat person, but I'm allergic to cats. So I don't have any cats because I'm severely allergic.
Okay. Is your wife around you right now?
No, she's upstairs.
Okay. Are you really allergic, or do you just lie to her about that so you don't have to get stuck with fucking cats?
No.
Because if you die, cats start eating you within like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I've heard that on that show. Yeah, I've definitely heard that before. They're like, all right, we need some fancy feast, and you're here, so we're eating you.
Say hi to Yo Joe Jerk. Hey, Pumpkin Woody. How's it going, Jerk? I do not. Do you know what his name is in real life?
No.
Yeah, like some people, like you get it, like if people call me Punk, okay. All right. Mython, right? Mython. I'm assuming that his name's not Mython. I'm assuming his parents didn't hate him that bad. No offense, dude. Brian, thank you. I will never remember that, but it's good to. But like Yojo Jerk,
that's
it's hard
awesome,
to address, like, hey Jerk, what's up? Like that just like if you say hey Punk, okay, but hey Jerk, what's up? Then it's like fuck you, dude.
I say that all the time. I'm like, what up, Jerk?
But it was like when we went to Joe Fest, there were like some people that like you were just gonna call by their YouTube name or their Instagram name or whatever. But sometimes it just doesn't work. It doesn't work as a nickname, and you're like, that's really weird.
Well, I met Zakanin at I was just at the Connecticut Terrificon, so I met him there, and I met the role keeper. So Zakanin, yeah, I'll call him Zakanin, but I felt weird calling him role keeper. So then I call him by his real name. Because online, yeah, the chats it's different, but in person, certain names you're like, yeah, that doesn't roll off the tongue.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Or sometimes you have to look and see how it comes out. Like, that's right. At the same time, and I will reiterate, if you ever meet somebody at a con that's on YouTube, and that's how you know, not like if Jerk comes out to me and says, "Hey, I'm Brian," and I had never seen him before, and you're like,
yeah, that's different.
I'm in your chat all the time, Yo Joe Jerk, and you're like, "Oh, why don't you fucking start with that asshole?" You know?
Yeah, you can't be like, "Hey, it's me, Fred Smith." You're like,
and that's what GI Bro did. He came over and he introduced himself as
his
name, as GI Bro, and he's like, "That's for you." I'm like, "No, Oz is the one that really went on this tirade after PowerCon, but he had a point because you're coming over and you're introducing yourself by your actual name, which is fine, but if you've never interacted and I don't know your face because you're just in the chat, like you know me. So yeah, if I'm a punk with toys and I'm like, and I go up to someone and say, "Hey, I'm Lawrence" or whatever, well, they've probably seen me, so it's not that not that big deal. But when they don't know you and you're like, "Hi, I'm Lawrence," and you're like, "Who the fuck are you?" Like a punk with toys, like why don't you start with that?
Yeah,
I can be kind of aggressive if you can't tell. But we have gone to 3.5 hours. If I don't stop, I will have to get in the shower and get ready for work.
Yeah, I got to go to work in 3 hours.
Ooh.
But that's all. I don't sleep much. I'm not asleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead kind of guy.
Thank you. I said the same thing. I also do the whole, like Monday nights, I do the whole, like, well, I don't have anything to do after work.
Yeah, I stay up. Sunday nights is all-nighters for me every week. Like Sunday night, I'm up all night. I go to work, and then I'll sleep when I get home from work. But most of the time, I stay up for your shit, and I'll end up passing out by 11:30. That's when you notice my comments stop. That's me fucking passing out. You're still on, but I'm dozing.
I've done that. I've done that numerous times. As a matter of fact, I did it where I'll sleep like 4 hours, 4.5 hours, but then it finally catches up to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then you got to shut down for a day.
So I had done that and I passed out. I just fucking went out. And it was on a Wednesday and I woke up at like, it was almost midnight. Maybe it was after midnight. And I'm getting messages from Matthew, my moderator, saying a Toy Kind of Mood is calling you out for not being in the chat. And then I'm like, I turn it on. I'm like halfway out. I make a couple comments like, "Oh, look, here he is." And next thing I know, I'm up for the next fucking 4 hours. I'm like, kind of like I should not have even answered that text. I should have just been like, "I don't care." But once you kind of wake up and then you're like wide awake because technically you just took like a 3-hour nap.
Yeah, that was good sleep right there.
But yeah, let's see. Allison and Mython seem to be going back and forth. Wait, you shower, Lawrence? Believe me,
I'm surprised.
Mython says Allison he gets a bath nightly when he lays in a Roman's wet spot. Smells like Fritos. You really do have a pit bull because you just
knows.
fucking.
Mython knows.
Dude, it is like comic book bin good times. So again, the whole like he licks his paws. So if he's like on my side of the bed, and I'm like, I've even said to my ex, I'm like, you fucking roll over and you get that wet spot, and you're like, I haven't fucked anyone lately, so I lost half of that. Like I'll deal with that one, but it's like, then you're moving over to like the other side of the bed you normally don't sleep on, and why does that fuck you up so much? Why are you sleeping on the wrong side of the bed? Like I sleep alone. Like why do I have to sleep at one side?
My wife will do that. She'll pass out on my side, and I'm like, "No, you got to move. I can't sleep on your side. It's my side's built for me."
Yeah, man, the paw licking gets out of control. Just go do it on another side of the bed or on
Yeah.
the floor. Just not on that side.
No, they do it when they're the most comfortable. That's what it is.
Well, he's bad because like if I get up to go to the bathroom, almost every time I come out, he's in my spot.
Grave stealer. Yeah.
And he'll do it to the kids, but I walk out and the kids are laughing. But he'll move onto my side, and I'll be like, I don't care, you're gonna move, and then like I will like wedge myself in.
Yeah.
And this is how petty he is. He'll get off of the couch rather than just move to the side he'd been sitting at. He'll get off the couch and look back at me. I'm like, I don't give a shit. You have that whole. You have another half of the couch you can sit on. You came into my spot, which thank you for keeping it warm. You're gonna get off the couch and be petty and look back at me. I'm not.
Yeah.
Listen, you're not gonna break my heart.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, you couldn't even lay it on me. I just need to sit here.
Here. Yeah.
Well, we got to wrap it up. Like I said,
definitely. We could go all night because I can bullshit.
No, dude, that's doing these. It's going longer and longer. It was supposed to be like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and it was 3 hours. But once you get to know these people, we get to know people.
Yeah.
The more and more people
just
that
like
I bring
talking,
on, the more and more people I bring on, I've almost always had some sort of interaction with them.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've known you for the longest fucking time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
Same here, bro. That's why it's just like fluid and we're just.
And you got to get ready. I mean, you got to be wanting to go smoke some pot, right?
Yeah. It's been 3 hours, man. I smoked you told me 8:30. I was down there at like 8:31. Sucking in the last fumes because I knew it was gonna be 3 fucking hours. So
I'm a dick. People are like, dude, I've been sober for a year. I'm like, I've been sober almost 49 years.
I brought this down. I'm like, I want to hit this, but I remember you saying, "Oh, I don't like when people smoke on my show." So I got respect, obviously. So
you're one of the
on your show.
I think you're one of the few people that heard that and actually respect it, and I appreciate that. I'm not
respect everybody's shit, man.
Yeah,
treat
I don't
everybody how you want to be treated. It's that simple.
Yeah, I don't like eating
lesson.
and I don't like smoking on on a stream. Drinking you have to because
your throat gets dry. I've noticed
especially
that.
getting on this long,
especially with all the cotton mouth I get.
So I do appreciate that. But let's wrap it up. Tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me on YouTube, and that's it. Woody222, the figure addict.com, or what do you call it? I don't know. .YouTube.
It's in the description. It's in the description, right?
Yeah. And then, like I said, I've met so many friends over this, so I'll give anybody my email, and we'll just talk, and then most of the people end up with my phone number, like you. That's the best way to get in touch with me. Dude,
Woody hits me up and says, "Hey, I want some stickers." I respond to him, "All right, cool. I need your address." Like a week goes by. And what was funny is that I couldn't find you on any fucking streams.
Yep.
So finally, you were on with Pop Blender, I think. And I was like, tell Woody I need him to email me. And you're like, and I think you thought I was pissed or something.
Yeah.
And because he's like, all right, I'll do it. Because I could see your face because you were live. And
yeah.
And then it's like, I'm like, dude, it's nothing bad. He emailed me and I responded. And it's been like a week. And then you're like, here's my phone number. It might be easier to get a hold of me. I'm like, you think?
Yeah, I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff, dude. Never have, never will.
Todd C says, did anyone say Woody sounds like an older Patrick Mahomes?
Whoa.
No, because Woody sounds nothing like Kermit the Frog.
No, yeah. Well, I did when I was a kid. When they first started changing, they used to call me Kermit. Definitely.
Oh, wow. No, I don't hear it because Patrick Mahomes has a Kermit the Frog voice.
Yeah, he sounds like I can't even I can't do impressions. I can't change this. This is stuck. I can't sing. I can't. This voice does monotone master. They call me. I could be excited and it sounds just like this. I'll be sad just like this.
Well, like I said, you if building subs doesn't work out, you can go be in radio.
Yeah, yeah.
You and Tony, again, you guys could do a show, and everyone would just love to listen to it. So, but we are going to wrap it up. Woody, thank you so much. I appreciate
thank you.
it more than you realize. And I was totally flattered when you were like, "Oh my god!" Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to let you in on a private email that we. He hits me back and he's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it." He goes, "When I first started watching you, I was like, I need to get on this guy's show." And here you're at, and I was like, again, I
love this the little show you do since the first one I saw. It's just like I love how you get to know everybody. It's pretty cool, and I like hearing everybody's story.
Yeah, and again,
I watch all of these Thursday with a friends. I might not be live, but I'm watching them all because I just like I said, people watching, learning about people.
And that's what like this whole thing came about was because I saw people in chats and I'm like, what is their story? So hearing someone say that, hearing you say that, it means the world to me because I tell everyone I'm just a guy that's willing to get on YouTube and show my face. A lot of people, they're scared, they're stage fright, they don't want to do it. I do nothing different than anyone else, other than I'm just willing to go out and do it. And that's not saying that people can't do it. I'm just saying. So the fact that you, and I've had others say it too, but the fact that you came back, that like meant, I'm like, oh my god, I'm doing something people really do enjoy.
Definitely.
So even if clearly as I watched the chat, people tuned in just to see you.
Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated.
But I do love that. So anyway, you can find him on his channel, which is in the description. You know where to find me every Monday night, which I will be doing the giveaway. I really didn't want to plug my own thing because this is about you. But if you guys have not, go watch the giveaway for the Once a Man Cobra Commander, and I will be giving it away next Monday, along with, you can either pick that or the Bison, the gift card, $25 gift card from Hella Dope Toys and M Bison that they donated.
Nice.
So whoever gets the first win gets to pick which one they want, and then the next roll, they get whatever's left.
I know I don't promote much, but I do want to promote one thing. I know your boys, Hella Dope Toys, are doing something with Mython Sunday night for charity. So I just want to promote that for my boy Mython. Please tune in for that, and it's for a great cause because Mython's involved. You know, it's on the up and up.
So Hella Dope Toys is doing something for Mython where they have a Mython mug, and all the proceeds, I do believe, go to the 101st Star Wars
501st.
501st. That's 100. Sorry, I left out some numbers. And it is for Mython, because you're right there. I can see you have the last comment. What is it for? Because I have no problem. Again, I love the fact that you thought of that. Again, I will be soon promoting.
So we should all tune in Sunday night and support Mython.
Yes.
For charity.
And
they were at the Connecticut con that I just went to, and they do some great things. I was doing some reading on their little posters they have up there. It's a great organization. And it has to be to have a guy like Mython promoting it.
Proceeds go to Affleck Cancer and Blood Disorder Center. But Affleck already pays me if I have cancer.
Oh, the duck.
Pediatric cancer.
Nice.
Listen, I said it. Listen, so take a drink. Again, knock on wood. Through Affleck, I bought the whole cancer thing a long time ago. I pay like $5 every paycheck or something like that. And it's like it's a tiered system. So the longer I don't use it, the more it builds up. So most people will end up having cancer. I'm so glad myself and my kids have never had to do it. So I'm more than happy to continue to pay into that Affleck thing and never have to use it and just throw that money away than suffer from anything like that. So I think it is awesome. So tune in this Sunday, Hella Dope Toys, which I'm going to plug anyway.
Yeah, I knew you were.
They do have a show where there will be a Mython mug. They don't even give me a mug. All right, and I have
Well,
a
he's a
code.
special individual. If you know Mython, like certain people know Mython, he makes me look like an asshole, and I'm a good dude.
Well, then I really don't
Yeah.
want to be around him because man, it's gonna make me seem awful.
No.
No, I do not know. I've gotten to know enough. I've gotten to know about
Mhm.
Mython from other
Mhm.
people. Matthew,
Yeah.
my moderator, met him at DFW, and said that he was an absolute wonderful person. I said,
Yes.
how could he be wonderful if he was at DFW and not Joe Fest? That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
But I say that about my moderator too. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
We were here. I mean, I know you live there, but that's a whole other story.
Have you ever met Matthew in person?
No,
Really? Wow.
no.
I didn't think you did, but I didn't know. I wanted to ask that real quick. That's cool that you guys are close like that. So imagine when you meet, it'll be even better.
Well,
That's
I
every
did meet.
experience I've had, that I've talked to people and then I meet them, and we're best friends right away. Tony, everybody I've met through this community, like in person, it's a great community to be involved in.
There is. I mean, again, I went down. I met Aaron and stayed at his house.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Daredevil Dave and Loki,
Mhm.
and Krusty Old Crow, who's supposed to be on next Thursday.
Oh, nice. All right.
And you're right. Like, you meet these people, and it's maybe the first time, but it feels like,
Mhm.
like I met, Tony for the first time at Joe Fest. Again, Tony and I, we talk
Mhm.
all the time.
Mhm.
I mean, we talk all the fucking time. So it wasn't like I just met him. It was like,
yeah.
I know you. You're one of my best fucking friends, right?
Mhm.
Seriously, you're one of my best friends. But you really get to know people. I think you can never know someone until you actually get to meet them. But this media of sitting here chatting with someone, and it's not just a phone call. You're actually seeing their expression. You see how they act.
Yeah.
People can kind of see. I obviously talk with my hands. All right. So you're not going to be blindsided by like, what is this little shit doing? He keeps like swinging at me. Like, I'm not swinging at you. I'm just fucking Italian. So, but if I don't stop, I'm not going to get out of here. So we are going to leave, but tune in Sunday for Mython in his mug, and all proceeds are going to the 501st to for
pediatric cancer.
Pediatric cancer that is through Aflac, who, god damn it, is in fucking Columbus, Ohio. I like it when they send me stuff. like a cleaning. I got some extra money this week. All right, I'm getting out of here. Thank you very much, Woody. It was
No
great
problem.
having you. Everyone
Thanks for
else, we'll
having
see
me.
you on Sunday at Hella Dope Toys, and then I will see you again Monday for the Once a Man giveaway. Just say take care now.